So I just flew in yesterday from California, Joe. And boy, are my bloody arms tired. You know what I mean?
Some people brag about it.
But I want to start off with this. I had the most scariest fucking flight I've ever had in my fucking life. Easily. So I'm coming from California and I have a layover at Denver. And as we're coming into Denver, I feel it get bumpy as hell. And I was like, all right. And then I feel we take a right. And then I feel let's take another right. And I feel let's take another right. And I'm like, huh. And then it gets bumpy as hell again. And then I feel let's take a right. And I feel let's take another right. And I looked over at my wife and she looked at me and I just looked back straight because I'm scared of flying anyway. Like, because you have no control.
No.
Right? It's like you just have to trust. You know? And trust is not my strong suit. So it's like, I just have to give in to like fate, right? So we make a right, we make another right, make another right, and I'm like, we're circling. I was like, I can see it. I can see the airport. We're circling it. We can't land. And then she's like, I know, just relax. And I'm like, how much fuel do we have? What is, you know what I mean? Like, what is, like, I start going crazy at this fucking thing, you know. And I'm like, what are we going? Are you sure that we're going to be able to land? We may not be able to land. We may have to go somewhere else if we can make it there. I don't know what the tank's looking like, you know. So my wife is like, just calm down. And then he comes over the radio and he's like, or like the intercom in there, and he's like, having a little bit of turbulence. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride. We're very windy here. We're going to try one more time. And I was like, all right. And this time he fucking lands it. And he's like, and when he comes, as soon as we land, he says, and that's how that's done, which I did dig. But then he was like, just took 2 times. And in my head, I'm like, no, it didn't. You don't want to acknowledge that you went around this thing 4 or 5 times, but I was watching.
Y'all clap?
Yeah, everybody clapped.
See, that's one of those things, right? One of those things was warranted to clap.
Everybody wanted to be alive. And then our flight gets delayed because no other planes can land. The wind is getting worse. What's up?
Do you know where Gina went?
No. Check her room or check the usual places. I believe in you, Blues Clues.
In the cupboard? You check the cupboard?
No, check the new normal spots. She'll pop up. All right, good. Mommy will be home soon. So they didn't want to talk to me all day. Now they want to talk to me. It's fine. So like, at any rate, planes are getting delayed because nobody can land because of the wind. So our flight is supposed to leave at 7. We got in at 6, which was already a half hour late because we had issues landing. We get on the plane at 9. So 2 hours delay. One of the reasons why is because they're like, unfortunately, when your plane landed, it took so long with them circling. The pilots have timed out. So they have to go home, and we're calling new pilots. So I looked over to Laura, and I'm like, they're not just in a reserve room somewhere. You know what I mean? It's not like they've just been waiting all day for a chance. Like they had to call it from home, and they're gonna or from a short flight, and they were supposed to get off or a part-time gig. But like it's gonna be a while. So they eventually get there. We get on the plane, and then we get on the plane. I know there's only one of them. I know there's 2. I know it takes 2 to tango. There's only one, and he's like, the other one's here. Their flight just landed, so he's going to make his way from the opposite end of the airport over. And I was like, okay, cool. We didn't get on the fucking runway until 10:45.
Oh, shit.
I sat in this fucking plane from 9 p.m. to 10:45 on the edge of losing my mind. Like, I couldn't even voice my complaints to Laura because I was afraid that the rant was going to take over and I would end up going viral on somebody's fucking cell phone
and get kicked off the plane
and be on the no-fly list. And then I got to catch a train from Denver to fucking Baltimore. I was beside myself. And then as soon as the fucking plane starts rolling, like just away from the, where you walk onto it, this flight attendant is like, buckle the child, please, in a seatbelt. And it's like, she's just going to start screaming. And she's like, well, I'd rather have a screaming baby than a dead baby. Now, for one, this parent is full
ridiculous.
of shit. Yeah. Okay. The parent is shitty because the parent has no control over the child. 2, come on. Like, this seatbelt.
You're a fucking moron.
Not going to save this child's life, dude. Under any circumstances,
dude. To save but doesn't save anybody. Do you not watch Fight Club, man? They're just there to make you feel better about yourself.
The only thing the seatbelt
when you crash, it's not going to do shit.
Is if we're getting ready to get on the runway and we have a T-bone with another airplane. That's the only thing that's gonna. The fucking seatbelt's gonna.
But you gotta understand, flight attendants, man, they get to a certain point, just like how you felt. Like, yeah, I'm trying to get up out of here.
Right.
They're thinking that same thing. Like, they don't want to be much longer. You know.
Yeah.
Me being on the ground service part of that.
Right.
I've had many a captain or a flight attendant. Well, how much longer? What's going to happen?
Right.
Can we do that? And you're just like,
and that's true. But at least she can walk the aisle.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in this seat.
true.
But anyway, we did take off, landed safely, obviously. Thankfully, I didn't have to work the next day, but that's another story. And everything is fine. I've survived, you know. So
And you here, yeah.
I'm a survivor in many ways, Joe. First COVID, and then
Same.
appendicitis. I've
Not yet.
No, I survived appendicitis. I had it in 2007. Laura called me a pussy because I said that my side hurt, and she was like, "Oh, the side hurt, does it?" And I survived. I'm a survivor, Joe.
There you go.
Common colds, flu. I've survived it all. Welcome to episode 356. I have Joe here, and I also have a new guest host, Greg. Say hello.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
He's new to it, so you got to forgive him.
Thank you.
But he was here at Skullfest and sat in at some of the kind of roundtable discussions that were going on in my absence, and I, of course, had to listen back to it before I publish any of that shit.
Of course, it's wild as fuck.
Yes, exactly. So, at any rate, when I listened back to it, I was like, he's got a fucking presence and a point of view, so good. Maybe I'll have him out for a guest spot. And as it so happened, a guest spot opened up because Chris Pickerton is on assignment, as I like to call it.
You motherfuckers better be grateful and appreciate how much effort goes into putting a fucking show every week.
It's true. It is true.
You guys have no idea, like the background. Like right now, it's Monday at 6:45 p.m. I just got off a 10-hour shift where I was short 3 out of 3 staff. I was by myself today, and that we're here.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
and on top of that, I just had to get my reviews together because I was getting back from the flight and all that. So we're sorted. Happy Father's Day,
Same to y'all.
and
Why you don't look at me? I have cats.
That same age.
No.
Still getting
no, look, I'm not giving it to pet dads for one. I'm not giving it to women that do both jobs. I'm not.
You're not giving it to single moms?
No, fuck them. Yeah. I'll say Happy Mother's Day twice. Okay, that I'll give you.
Yeah, you true.
But in single fathers, they don't get the Happy Mother's Day.
That's true.
They can get a Happy Father's Day twice.
Fair. That's fair.
So with that being said, Joe, you got your coffee first because nobody else got coffee tonight. Greg, how have things been? Anything recently going on with you?
Nah, not really, man. I'm chill. You know, like, I mean, that's not much more I can say. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people say that, but like, truthfully, like I was telling Joe, I'm a stay-at-home house husband.
That's hard.
That's a fucking awesome gig. I want to get that gig, bro.
But it's like it's to a point that for me, I try to make a daily of doing something.
You got to.
You got to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that bump on a log. So
Right.
you know, it's like my daughter's 4, so it's like the chasing around the house.
Yeah.
Or what I've realized, having a 4-year-old is it's daddy 20 million times. Daddy. And I'm like, yes. What do you want? Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just those things. You know, I try to my wife and my mother-in-law are very tech savvy. So they believe in delivering everything, Amazon and stuff like that. And they like to do groceries. And I'm like, baby, y'all got to chill on the grocery deliveries because it's like for the $40 that you can spend at the groceries, it's $100 for the delivery.
That is true.
Me do something. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
So, you know,
And get you out of the house. Stop being I get that. It's like having a job in a way.
Right, exactly. Because you have to learn women code. Okay, when they send you a list, it's butter, like cooking oil. But I'm like, what kind?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I have this argument with Krista, bro.
I'm like,
she started sending me pictures of what she wants.
Yeah.
And that's what I have her do now. Because I'm like, you can't send me there for one type of bacon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What
That's like
kind of
fucking
bacon do you want?
55,000 times.
Especially sometimes like it's worse now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like pick up something like the simplest thing, right? Like Nutter Butters. And I'm like, oh, I know what those are. And I get, and I'm like, there's 18 different fucking types of nutter.
Gluten free or fucking sugar free or extra.
Here's one with peanut butter and chocolate. Here's one. Here's one that's shaped like a peanut. Here's one that's shaped like a circle. Here's one that's shaped like a wafer. Here's one. That, I'm like, it's too much.
Exactly. And I'm a person that knows how to go in the grocery store. I map it out. You know your local grocery store. You know that if you go
which aisle
right to the left is this. My wife, on the other hand, she's like, let's go in the middle. I was like, that's not, architecturally, that's not how the grocery store is ran.
How to design the store, to design it with the flow.
Exactly. Yeah. So, that's just, right now, that's just when I am day in, day out, try to make it to the gym, you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. Shout out to Eric B, because
he gets busy.
He was talking all this calorie counting and stuff. I was like, I lift. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm like, I ate my ass off and I'm back on my grind. Like I'm counting out everything today. I'm back on my grind. I'm officially committed, but goddamn, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Like, I mean, there was times where I was like, whew, these steps seem worse than usual.
I'm winded. Why am I winded? I'm just sitting here breathing hard.
I was eating my ass off. I'm gonna get back to that a little bit. I do want to make one more comment about my trip, and I don't want to make this episode about my trip. But my dad is 82 and has completely almost lost his mind in terms of reality.
Because he's like by himself.
Because he's pretty much a hermit, and his entire view is based on news sources, be it some cable news or even worse, some unvetted internet news. Mm-hmm. So I told him I was going to California. I hadn't told him because I just didn't want to hear it. And I told him the day before I left. And he was like, well, I didn't know. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm telling you now. And he's like, be careful. Be careful. Be careful. And like, he didn't say anything crazy, but I can tell in his mind, he's like, oh God, the Crips, the Latin Kings are probably out there. Like, and so anyway, I went. It was fine. I went to downtown LA. I walked through Skid Row. Fine, everything was fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get first of all, I'm not an idiot. Like, I keep my head on a swivel. I'm smart. I move around appropriately. I'm not in places where I shouldn't be at inappropriate times, but I do want to get an idea of stuff. So I do go through the fucked up spots because I just want to see it. Mm-hmm. I say that to say this: there was only one time where I was fucking terrified for my life. On
the plane
in California. Well, no, 2 times. California, there was only one. We went to the desert one day. Mm-hmm. Horrifying.
Oh,
horrifying. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Great to have had the experience.
That's why you want things never found.
Horrifying. Horrifying. Like, I told my dad, I was like, that's the only place I was scared. Skid Row was fine. Driving through Compton Avenue, I was fine. This fucking desert, everything's trying to kill you at all times. Mm-hmm. It just wants you to make one bad move. Fucking the bugs look stupid. The fucking there's fucking lizards I've never seen before just walking around, like not behind glass or anything like normal lizards. The fucking plants are go aggressive. It's like
pointy.
They're
pointy.
Yeah. So anyway, back to your grocery store. I was trying to think if I had anything to add to that. I will say this: I often do some shopping, mainly for like at work. We do some shopping for lunch or what have you, and. I have become a bit savvy, but now I have like my preferred spot, but it's like where I work. And sometimes when I'm in these other food spots, I'm like, I don't know my way around here.
You don't set up the same way. Sometimes the opposite. Sometimes the baker's on the left.
Oh, dude.
Hey, true. That is true. That is true. Yeah.
So I prefer my bakery on the left.
Really?
Yeah. I get weirded out when it's on the right.
The food line down the street is on the right.
It's on the right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. But I'm with y'all with the bakery has to be on the left for me because all right, so we go to Wegmans, right?
Dude,
flash.
So
I made
Let's make most of your wife making a lot of money, goddamn.
Well, yeah, we're doing okay. Shout out to you, baby. If you hear this, I love you. So the thing about this Wegmans, I realized this after our last trip over the weekend. I said, baby, this Wegmans is dumb. And she said, well, why? I said, because the entranceway is in the middle. And in the middle, when you walk in, it's the veggies. And I'm like, nah, that's I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
So what I have to do now is park on the side of the Wegmans. So we go on the side door because it's the bakery.
It's the bakery.
And the meat and all that stuff.
It's true.
And I said, that makes sense to me. And she's just like, at first she's like, that's stupid. I don't like that. And then by the time we got halfway through the meat, she was like,
It's a float.
It was kind of right.
Yeah.
And you end with the frozen stuff.
Yes. And I was like,
so you're not hanging out with fucking cold shit the whole time you're shopping.
It's true.
And I can't say I told you so. I just got to make that face. I'll be like, and just keep it moving. So, but you learn these things now that, being at home and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Another thing, like I said, my daughter, she's 4 and she's growing up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, example, when I left today, so we had my niece over for the weekend. Uh-huh. And so the two of them, 4 and 5, they want to be grown. Right. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? What we notice is my daughter's not around us as much. Mm-hmm. So what this little girl told me today, before I left out of the house, she said she was trying to video chat her cousin. And she said, Daddy, you're making too much noise. I'm going to go upstairs in my room, video chat, and I'll be back at 6 o'clock. And I'm like, what the hell? But I mean, so serious about it though. No little hee. It was just like,
right, this is how it is.
I mean, but I love every bit of it. Meanwhile, Mom is still on. Is she sick? Is something wrong? When I say, why you say that? Because she went upstairs. No, she's trying to disconnect from her. She's growing up. She's growing up, man. You better accept this stuff,
I got my so my kids went with my mother-in-law to the beach, and my sister-in-law, don't worry about it, said, I just wanted to say a real joy spending time with your girls. Said this in a group chat to me and my wife. They are amazing young ladies. And I responded back, thank you. It was a real joy to have had a break from them as well. Glad it worked for everybody.
Right.
Yeah. And watched anything, seen anything, read anything?
Well, of course, I'm keeping up with...
Listen to the new Drake?
You know what? I heard somebody said, they said one track was good. Everything else was like poo.
I've heard it's very... I haven't listened, but I've heard it's very soft.
Yeah.
I heard it's like, and he makes softer music in general, but I heard it's soft by soft standards, but I haven't listened. Mm-hmm. I know that Drake is great. I know he is. Like, I know his pen is strong. I know he's really good at what he does. It's just not for me. But that being said, I do think he makes music for men that have stuffed animals on their bed.
Yeah.
Personally. But like, I recognize that he's very talented, but I haven't listened to the album. I did listen to Kevin Gates. It was fine.
Yeah.
But I have not listened to Drake yet.
Yeah, I ain't missing too much with that.
But I will.
Guess what? For me, Drake was good back before all that singing, rapping stuff. It's only been one group that's done that, and that's Bone Thugs. And when they started doing all that, it was like, ugh.
Yeah, Eric B gets very defensive about Bone Thugs.
Well, no, because he's got to hear this then. Because you know what? That's real talk. Hey, look here. Hey, look, that's my man. But you know what I'm saying? He ain't that big. I can tell him this stuff, okay?
Well, you know what's funny is we got into a pretty heated rap conversation at Skullfest as well about... Like he was saying, all these young guys today,
yes,
like these rappers, like they don't know good rap, or whatever. And I was like, well, who are you really into, young? And he's like, Project Pat. I was like, our generation said the same thing about that guy. And the guys older than us definitely said the same thing.
And
so
that's cool, but think about it though. I mean,
but mine was different.
Thank you. That's what it comes down to. Mine's different. We was really going at it though at the grill
for like an hour and some change. Are you watching Obi-Wan?
Yes, I am.
I say that in half knowing that you are. So how do you feel about it so far?
Okay. For me, I think it's put together good. Mm-hmm. My thing is, and this has gone way before this, I'm talking about prequels. Mm-hmm. For me, it's like I'm already assuming I know what's going to happen. Uh-huh. Like, honestly, I think it's good, but honestly, at the same time, I'm like, this was kind of a waste of 5 to 6 episodes. Why do I care about what he's been doing? Because some of it don't kind of fit into certain things.
Well, so that I think that's a solid point, right? And it's kind of how I feel about a lot of the expanded universe stuff since Disney took over. Mm-hmm. Is it some of it becomes so inconsequential that you just have to kind of attach yourself to entirely new characters and then really care about where their journey leads, because it doesn't really affect the overall world at all. Mm-hmm. And there is something about that, right? Like, we know Obi-Wan goes to Tatooine. We know that Luke grows up okay. We know that he steps in at a certain point. So it's like, what can you really do during that time to have consequence? My thought is to spend more time about But I guess it's not good television, though, is it? Like, it's not good action television. But more time about trying to connect with Qui-Gon. More time about trying to figure out where, the Jedi went wrong. Or try to, try to hunt down other Jedi. Not in the same way Vader did. But, and
figuratively speaking, not literally.
Yeah. Stuff like that. But I guess that, you need this overarching villain for the show. You need, like, these certain formulaic things. And as a result, it ends up not really
because it is the formula of the media. Like, there's some certain, just like social media, there's a platform for everything.
Yeah.
For television, you need certain things for it to be interesting to general public.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Like, while the things you say are interesting, to me, it definitely would be better in, like, book. Or
probably
a comic or something, like a slower form of media.
Yeah,
it has to be a certain pace when it's television.
Yeah. I do think that there's this scene. Spoilers, Joe, and I know, and spoilers for everybody else who haven't seen it. It's only on episode 5. I know episode 6 comes out the day before this actually airs.
Is this ending this week?
It ends this week.
Okay, I'll watch it.
But, like, we had talked about this character that we thought was the Grand Inquisitor was killed, but he's not. Okay. And he pops back up. And I can't help but think in my mind, they were like, oh, fuck, we killed him. But he's definitely alive after this in Rebel. Let's just have him come back. And when they say, like, well, how did that happen?
Somehow. Just like the Palpatine. Somehow he came back.
Oh, God.
But you already know the rationale behind it. They chopped up. Anakin got chopped up, burnt up.
Yeah,
my man should have been dead.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
somehow,
he's still alive.
Hate sustained him, bro.
You survived.
Right, exactly.
Shoulders used to always joke when he gets brought at the end of episode 3 when he gets brought up in that little, like, and it's like, and he's like, where is Padme? Is she alive? And it's like, I'm afraid in your anger, you killed her. Right? And then Shoulders just always joke. And then his next line should have been like, where are my legs? Did they survive?
He doesn't care too much about nothing else. Where's Padme? Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I don't think the show is bad. But I certainly don't think it's good.
I mean, it's fan service. We knew that from the announcement that we want to see more Obi-Wan, and there's nothing consequential, like you said. No,
it's very
people
much
want to see more Obi-Wan, and we got it.
It's very much a C's get degrees kind of show for me. Like I don't hate it. Like Boba hated, Bad Batch hated, Mandalorian made me feel icky. I don't feel any of that thing about this. I just feel like it's like, ugh, God bless. Like,
I mean, he's Star Wars anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, it seems that way these days. God damn it. Anything else?
You know what? I've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Like old episodes?
Yeah. Something, me and a group of buddies of mine got into it on group chat about how they said, because I feel a certain type of way about Miss Marvel. Okay? Now, I don't know if
So you're watching that as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel about that? Let me say this.
I have not watched it.
I just want everybody to be on the same page.
No.
So you haven't watched it. You are watching it.
I don't plan to watch it.
I watched the first half hour and I needed a break.
Really?
But I plan on going back to it.
I think story wise, because it gives me a Spider-Man Homecoming.
Definitely.
She's a high school kid. She's
Definitely.
silly. Da 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 da. But as far as how she gets her powers, I have a problem with.
And the powers aren't accurate either, are they?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But that's why I got into an argument with my buddies on our group chat. I said, you know what? Because I was saying that had they taken from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it would have made sense. And then one of my buddies said, well, Kevin Feige said that after a while, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't blend into the MCU. And I was like, and I'm really getting mad. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm about to choke you out. He was like, I got receipts. I was like, what? So when he showed me the receipt, I was like, when I say show me receipt, like show me proof.
Yeah.
So he sends me a link. I said, this son of a bitch.
Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. The way they run DMC.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just like, what the fuck? So when he showed me that, and I was like, bruh. So that's what made me want to go back and watch it.
Right.
And I'm sitting here, I'm on season 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn, you're pushing.
But no, I mean season 4, like 22 episodes, season 4. I started last week. House husband, I can do that.
Man.
House husband, I can do that. You know what I'm saying?
If she can only work 5 days, my wife.
Gig, bro. Chris, I need to set the fuck up.
Yeah,
Hey,
really.
I'm trying to. Hey, look, man. So
And you know what's fucked up about mine? The more I make, she just docks hours. She's paid better than I am.
Yep.
But I make more money than her.
Yep.
But only because as I start to make a little bit more, she starts to work a little bit less.
Yes.
see, but not to get off topic, but the wonderful thing about this, I have a Karen wife who
A Karen wife?
That's what I thought too.
not
Karen,
Karen. Sorry.
That's
I
why
have
she's
a-
taking care of business.
Change that caring from wonderful. Okay, sorry. What I'm saying is, she knew how it was going to work every day, because that wasn't the only job working at the airport. I used to do security too, so she knew dealing with those certain aspects of coming home kind of like bothered and upset, and she was just like, you know what, babe, you need a break.
Yeah,
That's what she
that's
said.
what I'm saying.
And I was just
I need a
like,
break.
and I mean, I've been working, pretty much since you can start working,
Right.
15,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Same.
So it was just like, for her to say that, it was like, wow. And I mean, as a man, it's kind of hard for you to be like,
No,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really. I had no idea what that was.
No, I think there is. I mean, I can appreciate that,
Yeah.
but I think there is like a security. Like, to me, to I'm not trying to big it up, but to be a house husband or like the stay at home dad, as it were, it does take some security.
it does.
It does. Like, it takes some being secure with yourself. For to not be the provider, to not be the it's like dating some girls like super taller than you or something, or like it's like
That's
it's
like, they're like, oh my God.
it's not impossible, right? But like, you could find some Amazonian bitch and be fine. But
Me,
like,
I did.
is she that much taller than you?
No, she's just jacked. That's all.
But you're jacked too, so it's like
Right,
they just seem like brother sister more so.
Hot.
Hey, look, let me ask you something. One time, have you picked her up, put her over your shoulders, and said, "Yeah, you forgot"?
No,
Yeah,
I've
no.
never-
Sometimes she picks me up over her shoulder.
Yeah. And then he says, "Yeah, I remember." Hold on, where's my logo? But yeah, so I respect it. I do respect it. I do respect it. But anyway, Shield, pushing through it.
So yeah, like I said, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they told me, and I'm just sitting here like, damn, why did he not incorporate some of the storylines? You know what I'm saying? Season 3, when all of the Inhuman stuff came in, that was nothing.
I've never seen it.
You never seen it?
No, I'm not a big TV guy to begin with. I'm even less so when it's on mainstream TV. But I get.
She only watch HBO Max.
Yeah, usually. But I get it though. I get it. I know the Inhumans come in. I know the Inhumans had their own show that was awful.
They have one episode.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's what I'm saying. That would have been the perfect segue for Miss Marvel. She could have a small little thing. Well, this Miss, I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
and then we know she got her powers. But the way they did it, obviously, I got to keep watching it to understand it. But at the same time, I was like, boo.
I like
seriously.
I like a lot of the. I'll say this. Let me see if I made any notes about Miss Marvel just while we're here. This takes time out of my nerd week too, so we'll just power through it. But like, I said, Miss Marvel. I like the animations. Like, it has animations kind of throughout it. Like, she'll say a blurb, and then like the blurb or like a text message will be sent, and instead of just the bubble on the ground, it'll be like on the window or in the. I said it has a very Scott Pilgrim versus the World vibe.
Yep, it does.
It also has good music choices and the good performances from most of the actors and actresses. It seems fine overall. Powers seem inaccurate. I said to myself, ask someone who really knows.
But I mean, with inaccurate to the comic.
Yes.
See, I don't care about that.
Yes.
shit.
And
Because
then
like the 10 Rings ain't fucking accurate either. But I love the fucking 10 Rings.
True.
Then I went to this. I wanted to get put my finger on the pulse of how people feel about it. So I went to Twitter, and I saw tweets about Muslim moms being so truly depicted on this show, not letting daughters wear revealing clothing and kind of looking to the son as the chosen one and all that kind of stuff. I want to say this. So shout out to Sony. Sony is of Indian descent. He hit me up and he was like, man, the way they depict Indian families is so true. You know, that's how our moms really are. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think she's Pakistani. Mm-hmm. And he was like, are you sure? I said, no. But I think.
Right.
Turns out she is. Uh-huh. And he was like, well, the cultures are similar. Right. And I was like, yeah, fair. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you can say that. I can't.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm not going to say that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I went so far to say, well, I got news for you. In my house, my sister couldn't wear whatever she wanted either. And she definitely wasn't seen as the person that was going to be the success. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of the money was put on the boys. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and I know that also to be true in Asian people that I know's family that have multiple kids and brothers and sisters, that same thing. And I was like, maybe. Just, and not just to him, but just in general, as I'm reading these tweets and things. Because we actually had a very nice conversation about it that, you know, but like, maybe, and not to say that there aren't cultural differences amongst people, there definitely are, right? But I think a lot of times we're a lot more similar than we are different.
Yeah, and you know, it's in the nuance.
Correct,
just like
100%.
Yeah, just like when we were talking about the Asian mom the other day about everything about at once, the Asian family. Like, yeah, a lot of these traits are in other cultures, like, but there's a nuance to it that makes it relatable. Mm-hmm. Having grown up from there, and I, you know, I have diverse friend groups and have been to other households where, yeah, there are similar traits, but it's just something that don't
just
click the same.
The screw is tightened just a little bit more or less. But yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, like, you know, like, I mean, you know, nobody ever asked what we were wearing. My brothers and I are going out of the house. Mm-hmm. You know, nobody. But my sister, 100%. Mm-hmm. You know, and it was scrutinized and criticized. And, you know, like, in my late teens, early 20s, I got up to 300 pounds. But nobody ever said a word. You know, my sister would put on like 10 pounds. They'd be like, whoa. Tighten up. What are you doing?
Right.
You're not gonna, you know, it's not gonna work. Your life is gonna be hard for you. You know, like it was, you know, but it's all like, it makes me feel better, Joe, that together as a people across the whole globe, we're just all sexist, really.
I mean, we're getting away from it, but like, honestly, it all comes down to it. Yes, historically.
Yeah.
The patriarchy is a thing.
Right.
We've always been fucking sexist, the entirety of humanity.
Because might has made right. And you know, historically. And now the tides are changing a bit. I mean, I remember my dad saying, and this sounds awful, and I don't mean to put him on blast. I feel like I already kind of put him on blast a little bit.
Once in a while we do.
But like, my dad's a good-hearted dude, but he's just from a different era.
Yeah.
And I remember him telling me when I was a kid, like, look, there's a possibility you might have to work for a woman one day.
Like it's a bad thing. Right.
Like just like I'm gonna prepare you. Like, you know, like just be nice. You know, say shit they like toots. No, he never said that.
HR, anybody?
Yeah. But like, you know, it's just like, you know, it is different. I was watching this Andrew Schultz bit where he was talking about you know, the women playing the long game with equality. And he was like, you never heard any of that shit when we had to like kill bears and fucking fight wars. And he's like, but the moment we get air conditioning in an office building, here comes the equality speech. Way to play the long game, ladies. But like, but I do think that there are a lot of, you know, obviously every culture is different and they do things differently. They go, but there are a lot of traits throughout just the globe that are just very, very similar. And I think that people relate to them differently, but they also relate to them differently when they see their own culture, and then they apply, I think, some added meaning or weight to it. Not to say that it's earned or unearned, but it's something that happens.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why representation matters.
So I agree that representation matters. I don't, but I also, we've gone down this path before. I don't want to get too wrapped up in it, but I also disagree, and I think it's very shallow that you can't relate or connect with things that are not your culture. Because I would have had what kind of trip would I have had, Joe, in LA had I not taken pictures of all this Chinese artifacts and stuff?
This motherfucker. Every fucking day, I feel like he fucking woke up every morning with a fucking mission. He's like, today I need to go find some fucking Asian shit to take a picture of before I start the day. Every fucking day, hit a picture with him with some Asian shit.
It all started from some conversation about representation, but in a different way. But it was about how like Asian shit's just not on the forefront. Like, so then like anytime I was around some Asian shit, I'd always take a picture and send it to him. Like, You know, so
It's
then
like Bruce Lee exhibit and shit, motherfucker.
it's like a whole Bruce Lee exhibit.
Just showing you love, making sure you know.
I tried to tell him, I was like, look, man, I'm much more connected to your culture than you are. Last time you connected to my culture was when you love casino, which I do appreciate. But it's been a long time since you found another casino. But I was just saying that, like, you know, like that day, like I would find, like, because there is, if you look for it, it is there.
The Pen Express.
I didn't take a picture of one of those, but there were some of those there. But they, you know, there's a giant tiger.
Yeah.
You know, like for a year of the tiger, and you know, we had the nunchucks. What? There were. They really were. And what were some of the? The Kung Fu reboot, which was kind of a shame it wasn't even the original Kung Fu, but the Kung Fu reboot suit was there. You know,
the legend continues.
The legend continues
with the
ladies?
white guy as a kid.
No, with the ladies. It's like a female.
Oh, you mean
it's like the recent one.
Yeah. I know what he's talking about, but I remember. Yeah.
And then I feel like there was one more. I don't know. Some of them, Laura would be like, take a picture. There's one. There's one. You know, because like I often bring this up, but like in my top, you know, whatever, like 20, probably top 10, but I'd have to sit down and really take pencil to paper. But like Paid in Full is in my top 10 movies of all time. I can go on and on about it, about why I think it's important. It's factual. I mean, it's obviously a representation of it, but it's based on true events, I guess is what I should say. But I fucking love that movie. And I think it has cultural impact. Like, people say shit like, people get shot every day. Like, it comes from that. The fact that there's not one single white person in that movie doesn't make me relate to it any less.
Okay.
Shang-Chi. I related to characters in Shang-Chi as well. Bruce Lee, I fucking related to as a kid, left and right.
Yeah, fucking just hooking ladies left and right.
Well, yeah. But you know, like I definitely related to him more so in Enter the Dragon than any other character. Except I did always think that one line, like, man, you walk right out of a comic book. That was some cool shit. But
that's the best line in
it. Is. It really is. It really is. It really is.
So wait a minute. Do you relate to The Last Dragon?
Of course, dude. I watched that shit. I watched that shit. I have the fucking soundtrack in my phone.
I got 2 songs on my phone right now.
When you got that glow, your vision. Come on, man. Dude, can you show me some moves?
Hey, look. Bump the glow, bump the fight part, but that right there, yeah. That right there, Leroy messed up.
Yeah, man. But anyway, so are you liking Miss Marvel? Are you liking Miss Marvel? Okay.
I am. It's not one of those, oh my God, it's so tight.
Right.
You know, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I think it's fine overall. I'm going to try to make a point to finish it. I just halfway through, I was like, man, I don't care. I don't care. And I don't think that's a her thing necessarily, because I actually think that she was doing a pretty good job. I think I don't think I care about Miss Marvel anyway, except for that one that's in the little skimpy black suit. Sexism.
Yeah, that's just different Miss Marvel.
That's the one I want to see on the big screen. I can give you a list of Instagram people that you should get to cast for that role.
Phil has commented on many of those.
I'm just looking through Phil's. That's funny. Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not. It doesn't do anything for me. I feel like, and I feel this way with most Marvel shows, but I think I felt this way with this one more so. It's like I feel like I'm really going through it just for the sake of going through it. You know?
Yeah, they reaching. I mean, Miss Marvel, you know, Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
she's got the same power set we done seen like multiple times over. So it's like,
what else? Stretchy.
Yeah. Like, what else can you bring to the table? I mean, I think the best rendition of Miss Marvel will probably be in that Marvel Avengers game that came out, because they actually kind of focused on her. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, it brings the whole Inhuman, you know, process and everything. So I'm like, okay, she's
I like that one Inhuman book, the Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee Inhuman book. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. To me, it's a great story of those characters and gives you an idea into their culture, which I also think is important, representation wise. Joe, how was your nerd week?
Shit. Where do I start? Jumanji 2.
Wherever everyone starts. Fucking Jumanji doesn't even start at Jumanji 2.
It's fine. It was fun.
Was it?
I didn't hate it. Yeah.
Your face says you kind of hate it.
I didn't need it. No, I didn't need it, but like it was fine. I enjoyed the first one quite a bit. This was another fun romp. It's more the same.
This is a sequel to the reboot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more the same.
Wait a minute, there's another one?
This is Jumanji 2.
Wait a minute.
So there's the Robin Williams one.
Right.
And then there's a reboot with The Rock.
Okay.
And this is the sequel to that.
Yeah. When they're not even the same bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
when they got stuck in video games.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
That is
and
true.
they got Danny Glover and fucking what's the other guy?
There's a Danny
Jack
DeVito?
Black? Was he in it?
No, he's talking about that old guy, right?
Yeah, Danny Glover.
Danny?
Yeah, in this one, in the sequel, Danny Glover is in this one.
Yeah, but is Danny Glover in the other? Danny DeVito wasn't he in
Danny
it?
DeVito also in this one.
Yeah.
They got both the Danny and Danny.
Yeah, a lot of Dannys.
Yeah,
Both talented, to be fair.
true.
Yeah. Yes. I had to think about it for a second. Making sure it's Lethal Weapon.
Thank you.
Lethal Weapon and Batman. Or Penguin.
Yeah, and Twins.
Yes.
And Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Predators 2. Yeah, Always Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
No, good stuff. Berserk revival.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. There's been a lot of good news for me.
I saw a new statue of Berserk as well.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be lots of cash grab.
But like very similar to yours. Like
Yes,
crouched with the sword on the shoulder.
I think it's smaller.
I think it is as well.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there's going to be... I'm sure there's going to be a lot of merch now that there's a revival. But it's the best case scenario. Like, there was only two... as far as I know, of any other real fans I've talked to, there's only two things we wanted. This, or for it to end. Right? So we're getting the best case scenario in which he actually had notes for the rest of the story and, like, outline of how it ends. And he's talked to his close friend and colleague he's known since a childhood, who's going to protect the story. And his, I guess, for the longest time he did everything for years on his own, right? All the drawing, all the writing, and everything. For the last few years, he had apprentices do art for him to like train him to draw in his style.
Yeah,
so
good.
So they're like,
I did like when that was a thing, like in comics. I don't feel like it's a thing anymore, but like Jim Lee kind of handed down to Travis Charest, who kind of mimicked his style and elevated it, honestly.
Yeah.
Silvestri handed down to Michael Turner, who definitely was inspired. Sure. McFarlane handed down to Capullo, who was definitely inspired. Like I do miss that era a bit, where it was like this lineage of artists that you could tell it kind of come from the same tree.
And I think the purpose is different, also because American comics I don't think was ever that, right? It was never a thing for it to be like one artist, one writer, one book, right? It was never that. So like that's more different kind of apprenticeship where you're raising an artist in your image, and then they grow from that into their own thing. Yes. Whereas a lot of times in manga, you have an apprentice to copy you. You're not supposed to deviate. You're not supposed to grow. You're not supposed to. You can on your own career. But if you're working on this book, we're not supposed to be able to tell the difference.
This way. Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense as well. But yeah, so like for us, this is going to be as close to being indistinguishable from it continuing as possible. As close. Ass to ass.
He got me too with the Karen thing. So yeah,
that double-sided dildo with the ass to ass, bro.
Ass to ass.
Love it. But so it's gonna continue, and I fucking
I was happy for you.
Fucking Final Fantasy Rebirth, Final Fantasy Remake Part 2 is announced. They've officially
it's like your month in a minute.
Bro, it really is. Like I need good news this month. Just like perk me up. But
all
like,
of your favorite things.
Fucking great. And they announced that it's gonna be a 3-part series because if in the beginning they weren't sure, and we were like, oh fuck, they're gonna make this shit 7 fucking parts or something. But there's gonna be 3 games. The second game should come out next winter, which we don't understand what that means.
Whether it's this year or next year,
or beginning of next year or the end of next year. They're both winters. I
would guess it's either going to be December of this year or December of next year,
which would suck.
Yeah, but it's also is that my American bias
for what?
Because winter is not the same everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
mean, because it's not America; it's Northern Hemisphere bias.
Yeah, well, whatever. What did I say? What did I say?
Yeah. I think nobody cares about Southern Hemisphere fucking weather patterns at all.
But it is
because right now they're cold right now, right?
Yeah,
like Lenny's having fucking snow or some shit.
And is it just North and South Hemisphere?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it's North and South Hemisphere. And that's
okay.
it.
I'll go with it.
Because of the tilt of the rotation of the Earth and the facing of the sun.
Science.
Right.
Sounds good. Let me tell you something. I took intro to chemistry.
Yeah. Did you pass?
Yeah, I did.
But also the bad news is the prices of player Sky is ridiculous.
That is true.
They raised it again. Like
where is it at now? Because it was
the newly announced figures are 180 something. That's too fucking. I didn't pre-order. Because
when I got out, it was 150.
They were still, as of the last releases, they were like 155, 156, which is like high, but I'm still okay with it because it's characters I love. And they do come with a good amount of accessories.
And hand painted. And like a lot of shit goes into this.
And like the bases are newly designed to like the grappling hooks or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Because that's been long overdue.
Yeah, that's long overdue. Those plastic clear ones are bad.
Pick that up.
You got that right there on the Hawk band.
Yeah, this one right? No, the stand. Just the stand.
You got the one your player Sky up there.
Dude, that shit
is awful. It's fucking awful.
You have to consistently tighten the screws down.
And it will never hold still because it's fucking plastic. It will loosen up.
And then even if you try to like gauge where the waist is, you're always off.
Yep.
You got to adjust it. After you adjusted a few notches, like because it comes apart this way.
Yep.
And after you adjusted a few notches, then the fucking clamp has come loose again.
Yep.
It's a fucking nightmare.
And the stand is in the middle. Where's the figure supposed to stand?
Exactly.
Right? No, the new ones are black, sleek. The design is much better. I don't use them, but they're much better.
Oh, good.
But that being said, so it's the same series. It's still Final Fantasy VII, right? Mm-hmm. It's still the same people. But like literally one release later, it's 180 something as pre-order.
Yeah,
like we just had some stuff dropped that's 150, 156 or whatever. So like, I didn't.
So I'm on your side, but just to play devil's advocate,
I will buy it when it's somebody I care about, really care about comes out.
But maybe they're honoring old prices that weren't entirely impacted by the shipping prices and all these other things. And maybe.
Yeah, because like I have a bike coming in, another bike. Mm-hmm. They're nice. They're fucking nice. It's 3 something.
Chonky.
They were 3 something. There's still a bike coming out this month that's 3 something, but the pre-order bikes are like 450, 460. I'm just like, that's
yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah.
What type of bike are we talking about?
Like a motorcycle.
1/6 scale, yeah.
Gosh.
They're nice.
They're beautiful.
Yeah. Did you review it?
I reviewed one of yours, the one the guy with the, I would say the big sword, but you'd be like, that's all of them. But like, and like the blonde pointy hair, you're like, that's all of them.
So yeah, that's extremely exciting, except for the price. What else did I do? Watched Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I
got to see that.
Love it.
And that's not available yet streaming, right?
I don't know. I watched it on Plex.
Right, that's what I'm guessing. That's why you watched it on Plex, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah,
right.
It might be available. I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah,
I can't. I have all the streaming services, and I have Plex, and I pirate. I can't keep track of where I watch shit.
Yeah.
I just know what I want to watch, and I go fucking find it.
Right.
But that's great. Nicolas Cage and Mandalorian. They're fucking both fantastic. Story.
I am gonna watch that.
Story's fantastic. It's outrageous, but like also good. It has heart. Like.
Yeah,
I don't know. I always like Nick Cage, right? Not everything he does is great. Since like Stick Eyes and Face Off and Con Air and Rock.
See, I can't say I always like Nick Cage. I like more of his than I think people give him credit for. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, when I bring up roles, I'm like obviously like adaptations, like an easy one, but like there was some role where he was like a paramedic.
Yes.
Like that's a really good movie.
You know, I have that one. I need to watch.
Yeah,
I
have no DVD.
I can just fucking pirate. It's fine. I can stream it.
I'm waiting for y'all to say Gone in 60 Seconds. Gosh,
that's also a film
with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, exactly.
And the introduced idea of the unicorn.
Did it
to me?
Really?
Like what his car is his unicorn. He was explaining that like this car is special, unique, is my unicorn.
To me, I think it was getting a girl for a threesome that introduced me to the idea of a unicorn.
No. Who?
Like it was like you call it the unicorn.
Okay, but I mean, that is a unicorn. That is for sure.
Yeah, it
I'm just
can
saying
be.
just the concept.
Especially to double down with a fella like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I think
glad.
you would enjoy it.
No, I'm gonna watch it. I want to watch it. I watch a lot of your recommendations, Joe, and Chris's recommendations. To be fair.
Yeah, I try to recommend things to you that only I think you would enjoy or that you would benefit from.
Yeah, I try.
Because usually a lot of times I say shit, it's like don't bother watching it about me. You won't like it.
Yeah. I try.
Yeah, I try to know what you like, but that's like a fucking mystery.
Yeah. Don't beat yourself up.
It's just your like how you like things. The way your thought pattern is the same guy who designed the fucking Wegmans to go in the middle. You can't figure out why they did it. They just did it.
Fair enough.
Been watching a lot of Hoarders. Got back into Hoarders.
That's always a good time. Isn't it?
It's a fucking good time. And
because half of it is just judging somebody else's shitty lifestyle, isn't it? What's up, baby?
Which color would you like? These are the choices.
Red, orange, or light green? Red.
Is that orange? Is that what that says? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Or you can do blue for the woos. Or blue and red for the
What
woos.
did you say?
Red's perfect.
Red.
All right, you gonna do that right here?
Apparently.
Just do a blue.
Okay, do a blue is fine.
I love when people ask me questions, but they already have the answer. That's me at work all day, every day.
Yeah.
Blue.
All right.
Perfect. Same age. Around the same age as your kid, right?
Almost. I think she's a year older.
Yeah.
Laughing at me.
Hey,
laughing at you.
Hey, take this upstairs. What are you doing?
I know, I just need to tell you.
That's, the
making
same,
a
that's the
sandwich?
same thing I get at home. That's the same thing.
Rainbow loom. We're doing rainbow loom and we need to know what color.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
And
So
they run
could-
off too, just like that too.
They couldn't figure out what the color of rainbow. And like it's like the easiest thing in the world, right?
It's like all of them.
No wonder she's in summer school.
It's your kid, bro. It's partially you.
Yeah, it's true.
But no, I love Hoarders. It's a fucking great show. I didn't know they kept going. Just like Deadly Woman, I like to watch that shit too. Like it's good shows that episodic. I can fucking just drop in, just relax to it.
Hoarders, I'm always like, God, why do you have all of these things? And on top of it, all of these animals.
Look around you.
For Hoarders, I'm the evilest person
It's
in the
not
world
the
because
same.
I'm like, I don't feel bad. I'll be like, you kind of deserve
Right.
this.
Mostly. Some of them are borderline. So they're like, oh man, like you just need help. But a
Yeah,
lot of them
true.
are just fucking crazy.
Because the reason why I started to turn into that evil person, like you deserve it, is like they come to try to help you.
Yes.
And you're like, nah, I need this can. Why do you need the can? It's open and it's empty. Well, because I remember growing up loving purple. What? Throw that away. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here.
Like
Yeah.
that.
It was this one episode. This lady, they told her, you have to get this stuff out or you will be kicked out.
There's a lot of them. A lot of them.
They try to be so nice to her. To the doctor lady was even mad. She was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. When you get the doctor crying,
Yeah.
that's when you know it's
That's
like,
fucked up.
now she deserves to lose all this stuff, man.
Some episodes like I wait because like at the end they also do a little blurb recap for like follow up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they lost all their shit. I'm like,
yeah.
yes, they lost all their shit.
That's what I'll be like. I'm like, that's what, and this is what I say. That's what you get.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
what you
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I thought I was just a fucking asshole.
Nah, that's me too, man.
I think there's a little bit of that. People in the gallows.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that. Like
But
the same thing that made people want to throw tomatoes at people's faces when they were in the gallows.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like, that's what you get.
it's like that same
But
energy.
it's also mean though because these people have like a fucking mental illness, right?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like we care about mental illness up until a certain point. I don't know where it is, but there's a breaking point, and when we're just like, nah, fuck it, I
Yeah.
don't care. You're sick. This is just ridiculous.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like you try to be as compassionate as you can.
Yeah.
You want to be like, you're not living right.
Yeah.
But when you just hard headed, like
Yes.
hard headed as hell, it's just like, know what?
Sometimes it's just out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
They're like there's a rusted thing on the fucking lawn. It's like, yeah, that's brand new. I said, what do you mean? I never used it. I bought it. It's just been sitting there, so it's brand new. I'm like, bro, like when it's somebody like that, you can't argue with, you can't reason with them. There's no fixing them.
Yeah.
You need to just like, I don't know, take them out of the fucking home and put them in the home.
Huge dumpster and put it. Like,
that's what they do.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a guy that lost 1 million pounds. They removed 1 million pounds of junk from his property.
I told you.
500 tons. Dude, it's crazy.
Did you see the episode where it was somebody who they bought this mansion-esque house? And they were nice enough to let the lady. They bought it from the lady.
Yes,
you remember what I'm talking
yes,
about? Man, when I saw something like that, I was
"Let me help you get rid of your shit."
Right, and I'm just like, that's when my evil kicked in. I was like, get it out of here, man. I'm helping you out, and that's what I'm like. Look here, lady, you understand something? This is my house now, and I'm not letting you do this. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I'm like, that's when the evil kicks in for me. That's why I'm like, babe, change the channel. Change the man.
Oh no, I want to see, because sometimes it's going to end bad for them.
Yeah,
because they're like, if you don't let go of some shit, the city's going to come in and just take your property, and they still don't let go of shit. I'm like, oh, just take it. Just take it.
I told you we played this game on Dummies where during the collection critiques where like we tried to trick each other into thinking that we're offering some sort of helpful advice, but it just ends up with us saying to destroy your entire collection. Yes. I always cut it out of the episode. Yeah. It's only on the uncut, but like the goal is to like make it seem so real until the punchline hits, right? So you'll
gaslight the fuck out of them.
Yeah, you'll be like, look, it's a mess. It's a mess. What you got to do, the furniture for one has paint marks on it. So take all the figures, right? Take them off the shelves. As you take them off the shelves, dust them. Use this time to like clean them up. Pose them, put them on the bed. Then get to your actual furniture and get some lacquer thinner. Get some lacquer thinner and take some of that paint off of your furniture that you've got splattered on here for whatever reason. Take a little bit off. Then after you've taken a little bit off, just pour the lacquer thinner on the rest of it and then set that on fire. And then if you set that on, then you throw all your toys onto the fire. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the whole goal is to like catch you. You know, like,
be really into it. Like, yeah, okay, like look, take these notes down real quick. Hey, you know what? We had when you were kids, we had sleepovers, right? So you know, playing video games, right? Had a buddy that used to do that. He'd be like, yeah, so you know, if you get crushed by the such and such, you'll get 30 extra lives. What the fuck? But here's how he said it. Yeah. It was so believable. Like, really?
Dude, I'll tell you this. So like a buddy of mine was working for a like this out in the middle of nowhere, and he was working for like a private ambulance, right? And so this kid was online playing Call of Duty with another kid that he didn't know, and got to talking a whole bunch of shit, right? And then was like on this dude's respawn spot, and just every time he respawned,
spawn camping,
just put him down. The dude was like, "Look, man, I'm getting upset. Let me fucking play." And he was like, "What are you gonna do? You gonna kick my ass? You gonna find me on the internet and kick my ass? Man, I live on such and such Bourbon Street." And the dude was like, "What'd you say?" And he's like, such and such. Dude ended up living like in the next town over. The dude called a Uber, went to his house, beat his ass, told the Uber just sit right here. Went in the house, beat his ass, jumped right back in the Uber, and went home.
That's great. He learned to stop talking shit.
There's a valuable lesson there.
Yeah,
had to be done.
I'm not mad about that.
Yeah. The grandmother, my buddy was saying, the grandmother was like, he just came in and was hitting him.
Same thing. You were shooting him on that fucking spawn point,
right? Right.
Yeah,
just teaching him what it feels like.
Yeah.
Fucking. But I do like the tendencies. I feel it in myself. But I'm not a hoarder. Mm-hmm. Some would say that we are hoarders, but
I don't think it qualifies.
No, but like a lot of their reasoning and their thought patterns
are similar.
It's just that we don't take it to the absurd.
Right.
We at some point prune, clean, say enough is enough. Mm-hmm. But like, especially with myself and like projects, a lot of these people are smart people, very talented people. Like they're like fucking engineers at work or whatever. Mm-hmm. And just have a house full of fucking tools and like brick And she's like, I'm gonna build a shed, and they just have like a half finished shed, and then just a bunch of just fucking projects everywhere. I'm like, oh, this is kind of like me with fucking projects, man. I see stuff, I see the potential, I'm gonna buy all the fucking tools, and then not do it.
I got a few of those.
Exactly. But you actually go through with more shit than I do. Like there's stuff about like 40K or my Gundams, or like I have a lot of projects.
That 40K conversation, I think, is an interesting one of sorts that you're thinking about backing out of that.
Yeah. Or like somehow cutting back, because like the Hoarders didn't trigger that in me. Like I started watching Hoarders after that, and I'm like, oh fuck it, I have those feelings.
Right.
Same with boxes. I've pruned a lot of boxes, but there's still a lot of boxes I have, and like I don't really have an excuse to have them anymore. Before I was moving, right? I was like, well, the boxes are perfect for moving, and every time I move, it's like you put the statue in the fucking box, or else it gets the hose again. Right. And it fucking works. But now I'm like, this is my forever home. I've already decided that I'm not fucking moving anymore.
Right.
Like, some of the boxes are valuable, I guess, because they're limited edition or whatever. But there's a lot of boxes I have that I don't need to have, and I'm starting to think there's a lot of space in my house that I'm using for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I mean, you were with me every step of the way when I annexed mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
it's a hard thing to let go too, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I keep
especially if you kept it for a while.
Yeah.
I keep statue boxes. Mm-hmm. I keep Fans Toys boxes. Mm-hmm. I keep Hot Toys boxes. And I keep Iron Studios boxes, and I guess that's statues, but it's small statues.
The problem is like
everything else.
I basically only collect statues now, and they're all fucking giant boxes.
Right.
And
they're obnoxiously giant.
Yeah, and, I mean it's for safety, I guess, or whatever. Yeah. But I need to at least start with like getting rid of my third party statue boxes, because they're not really worth anything at the end of the day. Right. But anyway, I just see those tendencies or things having value. Like I used to be a pack rat a lot more. Like I probably still have a box of notes, like handwritten notes from like school, like passing notes. I have those somewhere. And I'm just like, I attach things to sentimental values, but then it's like, if you can't get to it or you don't get to it, does it really mean anything? It's just the idea of having it. Yep. If someone took it from you, you would know. You have no. You wouldn't know
for years.
Yeah, but if someone would be like, I'm going to throw this away. It's like, no, I need it. I have to have it. Why?
Yeah. No, I mean you're right. I think that I still have notes that Laura and I passed each other in high school. Like I didn't keep everybody's notes.
Yeah,
but I still have her notes, and I think she still has mine.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, it is weird. Like, you know. Because there is, like, I have, at least there's meaning in that, right?
Yeah, but meaning is subjective, though, right?
Yes, for sure. It's not consistent meaning. It's only meaningful when you remember it, right?
And you don't think about it all the time.
Right, and I totally agree. But, like, I have that fucking imaginary ox. It's not an imaginary ox.
We all had
It's not even.
I had one too. So you're not alone. No, it's okay. It's okay. I used to have one too, bro. Yeah, we all had an imaginary ox. Got him.
That's probably going to be the title.
No, don't go to your phone now. We good.
No, I think I'm going to make a note that that's probably going to be the title. But like, I have an Imaginarium Arts Grimlock box.
Yeah,
and it takes up.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. What the hell? That's what you were trying to say?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was just I cut out
everything out.
Right. Imaginary. What the
imaginary ox? But like it takes up an insane amount of space, and the only reason why I keep it is so that Laura could potentially get money for it should something happen to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's the only reason why I keep it. But so that has functional, so that's interesting, right?
Because it's potential
value, whereas the other one has sentimental value, but both of them hinder on the certain thing happening to trigger each.
Yes.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is the people see hoarders and stuff, see potential in things that don't want to. This plastic bag I could use. You have 50,000 plastic bag, but this is another one I could use.
You know what? I don't see that. I see that. I understand the connection. Have you ever really had to deal with a hoarder?
Well, not deal with, but I was neighbors with one.
All right, so
like I could see that like the yard is. It was awful.
Good friend of mine from high school, she had a family member, and she asked me to help. I'm the mover of my friends, you know.
I mean, I can see.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. So she has me go help out a family member of hers, and she had told me her whole backstory. She was going through some stuff, and when I went through the house, it was like, wow. It was that bad, to a point that when we got to one room, we're cleaning out baby items. And I'm like, well, why does she have these diapers and stuff like that? Did she have a kid? She was like, no. I said, then what the hell does she have all this stuff for? It was because of what she went through, you know what I'm saying, that she thought that she was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I don't put, it was a bad situation that she thought she was pregnant.
Right,
and,
right.
And that transformed her. So I sit there and watch these things. Like, I understand why they go through it. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, sometimes you got to let some of these things go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In order to move forward. My mother's somewhat of a hoarder. She loves my grandfather. She loved him to death. Her father, of course. And when we had to help her clean some of her stuff, it was the excuses she was making. She was like, well, I have to keep that because daddy, da-da-da-da-da. And I said, Ma, guess what? I know you love your father. I love my grandfather too. But guess what? You keep your memories here in your heart and in your head. You ain't got to worry about that prized possession. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of those people that are hoarders forget that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to have that paper from 1985 because you won the lottery. Keep that in your mind. Yeah. Or if you were smart, keep that money in your bank account. you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's like a mental illness. Like, because it's not sensible. And sometimes with the show, they do get better. You can see them get better, and I feel good for them. It's like, oh yeah. They had some fucking traumatic shit happen to them. Like, they keeping the dead mom shit for like 8 years because they couldn't get up with their mom dying. And then like them letting the shit go actually helped them grieve, and then they get better. I'm like, okay, I get that. Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, like, and a lot of them call themselves collectors, and that's what, like, I don't know how much shit you collect, but like, we are collectors.
Yeah,
and there's a fine line. At what point it becomes hoarding and collecting, right? I don't think we're anywhere close to hoarding. We have a lot of shit.
Yeah, but I think it has to do with the care for it.
Because some of these people have like valuable stuff.
Right.
True. Just too much of it.
Yeah, but I don't think it even has to do with value. Like, I think you could have like, I think you could have a collection that was similar to this, right? But it was all the shit you put in gumball machines and it like comes out. But if it was all curated properly and put in a meaningful way, the value of it is trash, right?
It's your value.
But the perceived value, because of the way it's positioned, curated, etc., is going to be better. Yeah. You know, I think to be a hoarder, you have to kind of, it's about owning the thing, not about in any way the kind of condition of the thing. You have to let go of the condition of the thing. It's about owning it that matters. I think that's important to it.
And your own personal like I don't know, quality of life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, they just like go everything. Like, they climbing over their shit.
It has to be an inconvenience to your way of life. I think that constitutes part of the meaning. Yeah.
But when do you get to that point when you talking about you climbing over stuff?
It's a fight.
When you like say to yourself, damn, I gotta stop. Like, the climbing over stuff is enough for you to be like, damn.
Yeah.
That's like,
if you even when you start having goat paths, like,
yeah, goat paths.
That's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, those aren't quite bad hoarders like that. Like, they are cluttered, but like, when I used to go on delivery, when I worked at a pharmacy, and then when I was a technician and not a pharmacist, I would do deliveries, and you see people's, like, especially older people's house, just like floor to ceiling height, stacked in books and papers and manila folders and shit. I'm like, they're not quite hoarders, but like, it's borderline there.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's just a natural instinct, because birds do that shit, right? Birds just fucking fill the nest with fucking shiny whatever the fuck that they don't need.
But then they eventually leave and shit. You know what I'm saying? This place is full. We're out.
Yeah, this house sucks.
Right. Bro, you messy. Let's fly away. Okay.
Because we're somewhere we have bird brains, and somewhere in the back that we have to fight too. Like, shiny shit. I want it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm on it. That's the next thing I'm on. I'll probably be watching that for a while.
I do want to say, for the record, in regard to the 40K thing, we've communicated via text a little bit about it, but like, I do
talk to Chris afterwards too. Yeah,
I do think that like the key to that shit is like you have to have a set goal in mind, but you have to be flexible on how that goal is achieved.
That's the fucking thing. Is like, it's on me why I don't. Because I'm too slow. Because
everybody is. It's not fucking. It's unless you have nothing in your life to do but paint figurines. It's inachievable to create like a whole chapter without having shit from like different eras of the game. you know, and as long as you're okay with that, then it's achievable, and like just take a step away and come back, and then like, oh look, at least to me anyway, when I was heavy into it, and I went through like a period.
You have a lot.
Yeah, I went through a period where I got super heavy into it, and like for me, it was like, look, like I'm gonna get all this Blood Angel shit now, and I'm gonna paint it all now, but I'm not doing a ton of each one of these boxes. I might do 1 or 2, maybe 3 if it's like a tactical squad or something, but then I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna take a break. And when the next fucking batch of Marines comes out with the next biggest, baddest poses and scope, look what they're doing with the plastics now, all that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy 3 more boxes of those. And then that will be, my army will look different because it's almost like they were created and expanded through time and their armor changed and stuff. But you just have to be flexible. If you want them all to be identical, there's only 2 ways to do it. Buy it all. Just buy it all.
Which I'm doing.
Just buy it all and say, I'm not going to try to fix this all at one point. I'm going to buy it all, and then I'm never going to buy anything from them again because I've achieved my goal, and I'm putting all this shit in a fucking closet, and I'm going to pull it out piece by piece until I get it done, or be flexible with them looking different.
Yeah, like the thing is with me is like, if when I was doing nothing but 40K, I could keep up. Right, I was already behind at the point, but I could keep up. Like as things come out, I can finish it at the same pace.
I mean, that's just what I said.
I can't do that, and it's also a me thing because for my OCD, if people like paint a squad like basic and they paint a character real nice. I paint every single one of those motherfuckers as if they were unique, and that is unreasonable to do.
Yeah,
and I can't. I've been trying to work on stopping that.
I mean, but it's fucking, man, like, do you play the game a whole lot?
Not at all.
So,
Zero.
Like, what enjoyment do you get out of it?
Having them done.
And I think you enjoy the modeling of it.
Yes,
like,
the modeling, not so much the painting, but the modeling. I love modeling.
Right.
It.
So, like, I mean, like, just enjoy that. Just enjoy you're always telling me. Now I'm going to tell you, Joe. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey.
But I want the end.
Look how the turntables have turned.
It's the hoarder thing. It's the half finished project. When I go into my basement, I see not a lifetime of, but years of half-finished projects. A lot of my cosplays. I mean, I did a lot of cosplays, but a lot of them I didn't finish. I have like a 75% built life-size Space Marine armor that's not fucking finished.
I hear you.
So many
but
shit that's just not finished.
I think most people find themselves in that boat. I think that what you need to work on less is of finishing them is learning how to cope with not finishing them.
Or cutting back. That's why I've cut back on hobbies. I've like recently, I think I'm just like Gundams go. I'm probably going to get rid of all my unfinished kits. Right? Keep all the ones I built, finish painting, which most of them aren't painted, and just get rid of all the ones that aren't built. Because I will never get to them. I just have to realize realistically in life what I can and can't do. Like sometimes you're a creator. And I don't consider myself an artist or great or anything, but I consider myself a creator. I like to create and make things. Right?
I consider myself the exact same.
I wish I was more passive in my hobbies. Like, I wish I could just buy shit and be happy, or just watch. The people just hang out and watch TV and play video games, which I used to do.
But I will want
to older though.
I want to just say one thing. When I consider myself as a creator, mine has an 8 in the middle, so it's Cree and then the 8, and then an R is a little different.
Hey, look. Hey, look. At least y'all are creating and painting. Hey, look, man. I know that you have said multiple times on your videos, anyone can create these, the details and the dioramas and stuff. But there's a reality to certain people, and this is me. Okay, and this started from art class in high school. I can't do it.
No, can't is a 4-letter word around this house.
Okay, capable. I'm not capable.
Capability is a different talent, and how good you can get something done is a real limitation.
But I do think that there are some things that I do and have done that do take some talent. I think. I don't think that 99% of my dioramas require that. I think that 99.9% of my dioramas are all done on skill and technique, and those things can be learned.
Yeah,
those things can be learned. Like you can't necessarily, like, some of them, and not to say that I'm not comparing myself to like what Chris does, which is like a whole different pocket. Like just talking about the stuff that I've done. You can't hit the ground running with some of the more complex ones in terms of backgrounds, like where's New York City's in the background, and there's like, you know, but the ones where it's just like a fucking cave, and it's like, you know, like you can do that right now with the skill set that you have. It's not hard. It's tricks. It's simple tricks and nonsense.
It's just learn. Just have to learn techniques for certain things.
Yeah. So,
but But I wish I could be a passive enjoyer of life. Because some people, a lot of people are. I think a majority of people probably aren't. Like, majority of the time spent making things or wanting to make things. This is people, like gamers.
So I agree with you.
They just game all the time, or they just watch the movies. They love movies. They watch movies all day, every day, and that's all they do. And it's like,
I think about,
that's good.
You know, from time to time, I think about like quitting the channel. Right? Like I think about it. You know, like, well, I mean, what if I, like today, right, doing 3 reviews in one day, I'm like, what if I had to do no reviews? You know, like, I think about that.
Yeah.
But I literally don't know what I would do with the time. You know, like, could I be a better father? Probably, but would I know? Like, I'm just being honest. Like, I'd be like, no. Like, and like, they're not going to want to fuck with me like that anyway. You know, like, they want their space too. But like, I don't know. I need to be doing something, you know?
And I'm glad you brought that up, because now that I'm at home, like I'm not in everybody's face now. I get on their nerves. I'm like example with the grocery thing. I'm like, my mother-in-law, she still order. I said, Ma, I would have got that for you.
Right.
You know, she tells me, leave me alone. I said, but I'm trying to make it easy on you. So you have to kind of dial yourself back. Well, for me, I dial myself back and I set like maybe like weekly goals. You know how you were saying that you started one project and you move on to the next project. But for me, it was like in the beginning of, you know, not working, I was like, let me do this to the house. Let me do that to the house. And none of that, you know, big time stuff, but stuff that I knew that I could fix.
Right.
And I stuck with that. So every time when I wake up during the week, I have a weekly goal for myself. And I was saying that to say with how you have projects that are not complete.
Yeah.
Have you tried that, setting yourself up for a weekly goal? And it doesn't have to be, let me complete this costume by Friday's end, but let me complete the helmet or the shoulder pads. You know what I'm saying?
I never had short term. Like, it's always like, that's the problem. It's always a vision, an ambition. It's like, I see this grand things I'm going to do, and I need to do it. And to complete it at some point is never.
But they say Rome wasn't built in a day, Joe.
Exactly. Yeah. And check this out. You work out.
Yeah.
All right. So
you just said nope.
I'm just
naturally.
I know, right? I'm just saying it because I know he's swole over there. All right. Yeah. So my question to you is, when you're in the gym, you can't go in there and lift 315 the first day.
No.
What does it take?
Time, a fucking long years of grinding.
But he will compartmentalize rational thought his whole life. He'll be completely aware that something is rational and irrational, and he considers himself a rational person, but he will compartmentalize these little pockets of complete irrational behavior and just accept that of himself. Like, he'll be like, this is how I feel about this, and I know it's irrational.
See, Bobby knows me.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it, but sometimes you can break out of that though.
Try to.
Like you saying right now you can't do 315 on a bench press. I believe you could. You know why? It's a process. 1 week we do this amount. You know what I'm saying? And before everybody thinks that I'm, you know, a 6-pack swole guy, I'm not.
No, he's swole, bro.
I can just happen to lift 3.
Beefy.
You know? But what I'm saying is it took me a while.
You got a type of body that makes me want to fight you.
Oh my God, everybody says that. That was my security background. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to fight anyone bigger than that.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, that'd be a good time.
But you know what it was? It was everybody around me, my circle, that was doing it, and I was just like, damn, I could do that too.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't do it the first week, but it's a build up. You know, it's a weekly build up. That's what I'm saying. You just have to kind of change your tactics on how you're doing stuff. You talk about how you don't play video games like that. I fell off too.
Yeah, I loved it. I used to love it. I spent hours and hours on video games back in the day.
I want to get back into it. I just don't have the time.
Yeah. Never house husband perk. Sorry.
I know, man.
So y'all play Gears of War?
No.
I know of Gears of War.
I know of it. I may have played one of the ones.
I'm a PlayStation guy, so.
Is that a girl with a...
No girl.
There's no little girl.
Gears 5.
Yes.
Gears 5.
There's one girl.
What game am I thinking of where it's like a big giant suit thing? There's like a little girl.
Overwatch?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
That describes a lot of things, bro.
Right.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm thinking it's the spider.
No need to go on a deep dive on him.
Mech,
I don't know. I don't know who the key grip was on it. Just keep it moving.
Well, going back to that. One day I'm looking at the stories on YouTube.
Yeah.
I said, damn, I want to play this story again, right?
Yeah.
And I'm on Gears 5 within 2 weeks. Because
I need to do that. I need to do the house mission.
Man, yeah,
Krista got to step on that Twitch.
He did that while watching S.H.I.E.L.D.
Do you motherfuckers?
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody go fucking...
I told you, but I'm planning out my days, though, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you motherfuckers listening, so go to Krista's Twitch and YouTube. Go fucking follow that shit. Make her make some money so I can stop fucking working.
And your goals are wild. Like,
Hey.
I'm going to get to Gears of War 5. And
I did. And know the whole story. But I tell you some funny stuff. When you play a game like that, because, it started at like early 2000s and now it was 2018 or 19 the last time the game come out, you can see the difference in the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
like shooting.
Oh, yeah, playing it back to back. Yeah,
like, it's like when you do it back in the day, it's like, okay.
This doesn't seem that much better.
Yeah, but when I got to Gears 4, I was like,
I went back and played Knights of the Old Republic
No,
one time.
it's not-
I was like,
no.
oh, this is rough.
yeah.
It's like going back and watch He-Man, bro. Don't do it.
Yeah.
What else you got, Joe? Before I know you got to eat dinner at some point.
Oh yeah, I'm just having a good time, bro.
Oh, well, good.
I watched Keep Sweet.
Oh, I've started watching it.
The Mormon cult, not the Mormons are cult.
It's the
subcult of Mormons.
It's the fundamental.
Yes, some shit.
Fundamentalist of Latter-day Saints or something.
Yeah,
like
some
that.
shit like that.
They're like
Documentary.
they're the ones that are like they take on the tons
Cult
of
route.
wives and that whole bit. They're living their raps out there. And,
Bro,
Is this reality TV?
It's a documentary. Series.
Oh, wow.
It's good, but it's gross.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's fucking awful, but I love cult shit, man.
I do too.
That shit is bad.
Yeah,
And that's like today in America, right now.
Yeah, going on. And I mean, dude, and like, I don't want to go into it. And there's someone that listens to this show that knows a lot about it. And I would love for that individual one day to be able to talk about it. But I understand that his life is complicated in regards about it. But I have talked to him privately
about it? Mm-hmm.
And dude, the way that
But this is different. He's not in this shit.
No, but he still knows because it's like Episcopals to Catholics. You know what I mean? It's close enough.
I thought even like just like pretend that branch is not attached to you or something like that.
It's so. Like they're wrapped up in politics. They're like in local politics. Like they're like the fucking mob. You know, like
I believe it.
You know, like real estate. You can't just go into the heart of Mormon country and just think you're gonna, do whatever you want without paying tribute. You're not.
Yeah, because like I was on the Scientology this shit. I thought they were bad, and they are. But like this shit, it's less people though. At least less people involved.
Yeah, Scientology is
bad. It's fucking worse.
Yeah,
Scientology is really bad, but this is worse. Scientology isn't marrying off 12-year-olds
that we know of.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I love cult shit. So if you're not easily triggered, then I would watch it.
Yeah.
I started. Is this ocean? Did I hit the
There
ocean?
is something.
Did you bring the ocean with?
Oh, you know what it probably is?
I didn't do it.
I don't know.
I hear the ocean though. It's not a bad sound.
Yeah.
It's kind of relaxing.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just roll with it for now.
Yeah. And I started another doc also on Netflix, Web of Make Believe. It's episodic, actually.
Okay.
I just finished episode 2 on my drive home because I watched it when I drive. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Episode 1 was about
Good luck, everybody.
I never met a slot like I didn't want to run.
Dude, I sent you that shit with dude. So good.
Bro, if I look, if the exit is 3 lanes over, I'm getting to my exit.
By hook or by crook.
But yeah, the first episode was about swatting, which is gamers, calling the cops to get the SWAT team. But this is a very specific case that like someone died from it. Someone innocent died from it, and it's very compelling. It's a good story. So like, but
It's a problem.
yeah, it's a problem. I think it's being taken more seriously now. Since someone got killed.
Right.
So I don't think it's as prevalent anymore. This was much more prevalent 5-6 years ago.
Right.
But it's about this particularly one bad apple who's like just kind of a loser in life who just does this for fun. Like he just likes to evacuate buildings for the fun of it. But it's a very interesting story. Episode 2 is about the murder of a guy in DC who was like attached to the DNC.
The DNC.
Democratic National Committee.
Okay.
And like how like the internet and everything just made it fucking off the charts wild when like his parents are just like, oh, we just want to know like what happened to him, and now like we are in conspiracy theory fucking town with people calling threats on us and shit.
Yeah,
so, like it's another compelling story, not as interesting to me, like not as compelling, but I'm sure it's people who are into politics and who was in it was big news at that time.
Yeah, I remember it.
It was around
Trump.
Sure. Yeah, Trump when whoever was fighting over the fucking belt of the United States championship, whatever.
Okay. The belt.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about Chris, like the belt.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
I remember who won though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what.
What do you say? I'm gonna shut you down too, Joe. That's still one of the hardest lines ever said in a fucking presidential debate. You shut the country down for 3 months. I'm gonna shut you down too, Joe.
Like credit where credit's due.
Yeah, he was a witty motherfucker, man. Like I that, and then that when Biden was like, "Where come on, man? Where they?" Yeah, pardon me.
I was excuse me, the foothills.
But like when he was like, where did they even get this guy from? He's like, Queens.
So 6 episodes. I don't know what episodes 3 to 6 is going to be about, but it's like made by some big name people. I don't know the secret, but apparently,
I want to check it out.
Ron Howard is one of his names attached.
Oh, okay.
I know he's Opie and he's good.
Yep, all those things are true. I think he did.
Andy Griffin show.
The only
Starring Andy Griffin.
The only movie I got taken out of school for, Joe.
Yes.
Backdraft.
Yes, Backdraft. Yes.
My dad was a firefighter, and the day Backdraft came out was a Friday, obviously. So I went to my mom's house on Fridays, for better or worse, and he picked me up. Like he told the school I had like an appointment, and took me out of school to watch Backdraft with him before he dropped me off.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
that's cool. Sweet.
And that's.
Here we go. It's a fucking event tonight, isn't it? What's going on?
It is evening times.
Yeah. And she gave me a little bracelet gift.
I remember making that in summer camp.
Yeah, which was nice. But then she dropped my government last name, so I had to cut it out. So just keep it moving.
And that's mainly what it is. Oh, I went to Avery's. I can't believe I've never been to Avery's Seafood. It's like right across the street from Adam's old house. Like I've driven by it for 6 fucking years.
Yeah,
it's got a little crab on top.
It looks a little country, like a
yeah.
I've been
6 years I've driven.
Yeah,
it's good.
So I've driven past it 2014. Do the math, Joe.
8.
No, 2000. No, I'm sorry, 2004.
Okay, yeah.
18.
Yeah, there you go.
18 years. But it always has that, like, man, like a motorcycle gang could pull up at any time.
Yes, but it does have that vibe. And what I say it does, but it's not. It's like yuppies and stuff there too. Yeah,
chill. Cool.
We had the all you can eat. It's crabs.
Snow crabs? Or no, like a proper crab.
You can pay more to get unlimited. There's multiple levels, man. There's A, B, C.
Oh yeah,
and C plus.
Tell me what you got.
I got a C plus. I didn't get a D.
Okay.
The D gets you unlimited snow crabs.
Oh, okay.
C plus gets you everything A through C plus 1 pound of snow crab legs.
Okay.
I wasn't balling enough to just be like, yeah, fuck it. Get the
snow crab legs. I will tear.
Yeah, it's so easy.
I like them.
Oh man, what are you talking about?
I like them over Alaskan king crab legs.
Yeah.
And I know that they're more expensive and they're supposed to be better.
Doesn't matter.
But they're not as tender.
Nope.
And like whatever.
It's just like one piece of solid, chunky, floppy meat.
All right, enough's enough.
Oh my goodness. That's it, big yo.
But yeah, we had a lot of shrimp actually. The steamed shrimp was part of the sea.
I'm gonna have to try it out.
Let's go.
All right.
Well, I know you're having crab feast sometime.
Yeah, we're gonna.
But like, it's just nice to not have to clean up crabs at home.
Yeah, and
it wasn't cheap. I tell
smell
you
that shit in your garage for fucking.
Oh yeah, in the summer, baking there for a week. But like, it's not cheap because prices are just fucking expensive nowadays. So.
Right.
But we got that dink money, so that do income, no kids, bro. That's where it's at.
Dink.
But yeah, so that was good times.
Nice.
I've been exploring this area. Like I've been here, living here. We've been here for 3 years. I still feel like the new neighbor. I'm just now finished unpacking still, but I've been here for 3 fucking years, and I'm starting to explore the area.
That's what's up. The best places be usually in your area.
Yeah, like the local shit.
If you really take the time to look for it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I did. So I went to LA. I'm not gonna take too much time on that.
Didn't die.
I didn't die.
You gonna have a special episode on your trip?
Yes, it'll be on Patreon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was top 5 trips of my life. It was amazing. That being said, I am going to talk about a few things that I learned out there. For one, in my mind when I went out there, it was all going to be like people in bodysuits and with no shirts, and like everybody was going to have like 2% body fat. And
Oh no. Do you go to Venice Beach?
LA's fat as fuck.
It's just like
fat as fuck, just like everywhere else. It's all the same. There are some places where you'll see more of that type, but even then, they're the minority. I will say the music sounds different out there. Like, I didn't listen to any drill music when I was out there at all. And like I was like, fuck it, let's put on some like Ice Cube and Tupac and these characters, and that shit sounded right out there. I would never listen to that shit here.
I mean, like I think the environment and the atmosphere, the weather,
exactly. It's like shit where you could take your hand and go like this too while you're listening. I would never listen to. But out there, it sounded good. Right. I'll say it. Also, the food is horrible. Now, let me say this.
I don't trust Bobby's taste.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's bland as fuck.
You just go to all vegan, gluten free shit restaurants?
No,
but sure?
Fuck, are you kidding me? So no, so here's the thing. Here's a couple things I learned. Right.
Yep.
So everybody says go to LA, get some authentic Mexican. Get the best Mexican food you can have.
Great tacos.
Let me tell you something. I had Mexican food from numerous places. Now, obviously, I have a limited palate, so I don't get it with all the fixings.
So you get the tongue and stuff.
However, Laura does, and I tried all of hers, bland as fuck. One of them, I couldn't believe it had 2 sauces on it, like on top. And I was like, this shit still tastes bland. and she was like, it's not the most flavorful. I will, because she got to play it. She got to play it up. But like, the Mexican food was good, but it wasn't leaps and bounds better than the good Mexican food here. I feel like, like.
Taco Bell's great.
If you got like that one that's on East Street, that one is like Bueno Taco or some shit.
Buenos is amazing.
Yeah, it's not that much better than that. It's not like any.
Is it that price? Because I remember being out there. Is that the good food for low price? Is what.
So I'll be honest with you, I didn't look at the price.
So you gotta get a deal and go to Avery
because I was living it up. Yeah, so to speak. Because I was living it up. I was having a good time. But like, I will say this. While it wasn't that much better, it wasn't that much better than like the average taco truck on the boulevard either. Like, I got news for you. But what they tell you is there's Mexican food everywhere. And there is.
Okay.
But the way they act about it, and I'm talking about Californians.
Okay.
Is that it's just like, and not Californians in California. Californians, Jisk is what I'm talking about here. I'm going to put his name out there. I'm talking about Jisk. And to be fair, a couple other Californians that I know.
California is a cult. You know that, right?
Baby, what is it, sweetheart? You want a Theirs too? Give her 2 colors.
What? Which color?
Red and black.
Red and black?
Yeah, and black.
Okay.
That's the only 2 colors for me, bro.
And what would you like?
What you got for me? You got pink still?
Yes.
Yeah, let me get pink and white.
Pink and white?
That's
there
right.
It is.
Wait, pink and white and I forgot.
Red and black.
Red and black.
All right. So
California is a cult.
Yes.
California loves to tell you how great California is when you point out how shitty it is.
So
they don't like to talk about it.
So let me say this. I want to say this also. The food to me was the worst thing out there. Like, I liked the weather. I liked the vibe. I like it was far better than San Diego to me.
In LA?
Yeah.
You like the brown? I don't know. When I said the sky was brown and it was on fire.
So I never saw a brown sky. Everything is brown. Like, the mountains are brown, the fucking front yards are brown. Like, there's no grass anywhere.
Right.
But let me say this. What they don't tell you, these Californians that move out of California, is there are a lot of Mexican joints. But you know what there's a fucking lot of out there? Burger joints and donut joints.
In-N-Out and Randy's.
Yo.
What they got, that Whataburger?
I don't know.
That too?
They got... The closest way I can I was taken back by it. Like, I was like, holy fuck, there's a lot of burger joints here. I never felt that way about the taco stands. It felt like I was on the boulevard. But I was just like, what in the hell? It's like every 2 stores, like Smash Burgers, Flat Burgers, Jack's Burgers, Matt's Burgers.
In-N-Out.
Dude, one of them was,
Jack in the
I swear to God, bro, I'm on Santa Monica Pier, right? Oh, go ahead. And there's a burger stand that's on the beach part. It's on the pier, so the pier goes through the beach and then into the water, right?
Yep.
There's a burger joint on the pier.
Yeah, those fancy.
Over top of the beach that says "Last Burgers in California."
Yep.
2 stands down. First Burgers of the Sea. Like,
that's amazing though.
they were everywhere. Like, I couldn't get over it. I had to point it out. Like, we got an Uber at this one point. This lady was a weird lady, but she was nice enough. But she was like, "And while you're down here, you could have many hamburgers." And I said to her, I was like, man, look, I've only been here for a day and a half, but you guys fucking love hamburgers, don't you? It's like hamburgers everywhere. And she's like, "Do you not have hamburgers in Maryland?" But I was like,
practicing for a part.
But I was like, I was like, we do. But if you think about, like, can you name a mom and pop hamburger spot? Hamburger spot, not a spot
Mom and pop? No.
not a spot that has hamburgers, dude. They're everywhere there.
Yeah,
they're everywhere. But I do want to say this. There's the one chain that they have out there. I had In-N-Out, all that kind of shit. But this one chain that I tried out there is called the Counter Burger.
I heard it.
So when you sit down, it's just a sheet of paper, and you just scratch on the paper like what you want. Like they have like the options. You just check boxes and then hand it back. It is without a doubt the best hamburger I've ever had in my life. The way that they talk about their Mexican food is what I expected, but it's what I got with their hamburger. They need to be talking about their hamburgers more. Californians, listen up. Start putting some fucking flowers on your hamburgers, man, because you got good hamburgers.
Maybe they inundated with it, so like they're like just not. They don't think it's a thing. There's too much of it.
But I also think that they think that it's like Americana, right? Like the hamburger and fries. It's like it's Americana, like it's everywhere. But what they don't realize is that it's not. It's like on the East Coast, it's like just chains.
Yep.
And then most restaurants have some sort of burger available.
I mean, it could be a good burger at a restaurant, but it's not a specific burger
joint. Right.
Because we have smaller chains, but they're still chains.
Right.
Maybe like Five Guys is still a chain nowadays.
We might be just a little bit more healthier than they are.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So then I've been watching The Boys.
Perfect still?
It's perfect still. Like,
he's getting me onto that now.
Dude, it's so good. Like, it's just the character that plays Homelander, man. Not only does he remind me of my buddy Shane, if my buddy Shane had powers, but like he is just his performance. It needs to win some award. Like it's like the person that's putting on the show for everyone that everything is fine, but you can just tell there's something broken about him all the time.
I mean, maybe he's just like that in real life. It seems
maybe.
Or he's channeling that character too much and is bleeding into his real life. He's methoding it.
There is one thing I wanted to say about the Obi-Wan episode 4, where they sneak the kid out of the Inquisitor.
I know what you're about to say,
dude. Joseph.
Did they have the disguise infiltrate?
Listen to me,
bruh.
man.
If he's about to say what I was thinking when I saw that,
Han and Luke infiltrating the Death Star in Stormtrooper gear, even though Luke is a little small for a Stormtrooper, admittedly, it works. Finn and Rose infiltrating the First Order with the way that they went with like officers' gear, like it works.
Rogue One,
also? Dude. Yeah, Rogue One.
I'm glad you said
Rogue
it.
One. Yes, definitely, it works.
I knew it when I saw it.
They stuff a kid in a trench coat.
No.
Yep.
It looks like, you know how like Huey, Dewey, and Louie would pretend to be an adult and have like a trench coat and like the heads would pop out of the...
Yeah. That's the little rascals trying to get into the movies.
No.
The Empire is the dumbest fucking organization to have ever existed.
But hold on. You haven't explained how many people they passed.
Oh, everybody. They're on the Santa Monica Pier of the Empire.
Bruh.
It's like fucking Raph in the fucking trench coat.
They passed stormtroopers, officers, the little robots, the droids. They passed everybody. And no one said, this guy looks retarded.
No one says a word.
What's wrong with this guy?
We say mentally ridiculous.
Oh, my fault. He's mentally ridiculous with his little legs and a bulging belly. It looks like a head.
It's nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts. And then there's a scene where a snow speeder is just hovering and shooting.
Yeah.
That's dumb too. Just want to put that out there also. Miss Marvel, we've already talked about. I want to say this. What do you do? This is a question I'm going to pose. What do you do when you have a family member, right? Not the family member that you're the closest to in the world, but certainly a family member. Mm-hmm. And they've spent an exuberant amount of money on a dog because the dog is purebred, right? And then you see the dog and you get the feeling maybe the dog's a little too purebred.
Yes. That's the problem with purebred.
This one, who? Completely mentally ridiculous.
Who was it?
I'm not going to tell you who it was, but I will tell you this. He went to the beach last week. The dog did.
Okay.
Do you say something?
Like, yeah.
Like this dude, I'm pretty sure spent thousands of dollars on this dog. And I want to be like, look, man, your dog ain't right.
Yeah.
You got to see it, right? You take one look at this fucking dog, and it's not looking at you back the same way.
It's looking at multiple directions at the same time.
His dog ain't wired right. You can tell, like, it's got something going on with him, you know? But anyway.
I'm definitely say something.
So I feel uncomfortable. I started talking about it in the car and was told to hush, hush, hush. That's what they say to me all the time.
That's the truth, bro. Right. Maybe he can get his money back. Unless he paid for the mental ridiculous.
I made a little note here. These are just some random. These are some drunk notes. I said, I wish Thanos would snap his fingers and make half these Marvel projects disappear.
True.
I was almost Anakin Skywalker. I was like, I must have been really fucked up that night. I watched a documentary on YouTube called "In a Galaxy Far, Far Away, I Was Almost Anakin Skywalker," and it's the kid that should have got the fucking role. If you remember on Nerd Rage, I talked about years ago probably that I watched this behind the scenes documentary on the making of Phantom Menace. And there's like 3 kids that they bring in. It's like the final draw for Anakin. One of them, clearly the wrong choice, right? Then there's the 2 left. It's Jake Lloyd, who they chose, and this other kid. This other kid knows Star Wars like the back of his hand. They say action, and he's like, he goes dark immediately. Like this little kid, and he's just like, I forget the line that they had, but I mean, it's like, holy fuck. Like everybody in the room is watching, like in the room at the audition is looking at each other like, oh shit. Like we fucked around and accidentally found Anakin Skywalker. And then they get Jake Lloyd up there and he's like,
that's pod racing.
And George Lucas is like, that one. I want that one. And they chose it. And like, even when he says in the documentary, he's like, this is the one we're going with. The people in the room are like, you know, this is the one this was the third one. Do you remember the third one? And then they like bring the other kid down. They're like, this was the second one. You remember him? Like the one that everybody's like should be the clear fucking present winner.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we're going to go with this one. Well, they interview the kid that wasn't chosen as like an adult. And it's fucking tragic, man. Like he has a normal life, so he's good in that.
Yeah,
like,
but still,
unlike Jake,
I can only imagine how the fucks with you.
Unlike Jake Lloyd, who has like a completely train wreck of a life, this kid is like he's married, you know, the whole bit. But like he says, like, you know, he was a child actor, like he's been in a bunch of commercials and all that kind of stuff. Star Wars was like his big break, you know, and everything, and he didn't have it. It kind of like took the wind out of his sails. He kind of quit. Like it's kind of like a sad ass story, and it's like the kid should have been chosen. He was the chosen, you know.
That fucking George Lucas, man.
So I do recommend people watch that if you're interested. Also, I tried to watch Matrix 4 on the.
I told you not to.
I know. It was on the flight.
Okay.
I can't. I couldn't. I got half hour in, and I was like, I can't watch this. Half because it was not good, but the other half because I just am such a neurotic train wreck on an airplane that I couldn't even focus on how bad it was because I was like, this fucking thing's going down any minute. I can tell. So that was that.
Should have watched it during the circle. Like, maybe it's the Matrix that was circling.
Oh yeah, you had time when you're just sitting there for an hour and 45 minutes waiting to take off.
I have one other note, but I'm going to save it for next week. But I have some actual notes this week.
Are you talking about the Flash?
No, we should. But
I sent that shit to you.
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm thanking for it because I don't think I saw it in the notes. R.I.P. to Tim Sale, artist behind Long Halloween, Haunted Night.
They're all going, man.
Dark Victory. He's relatively young too, in his 60s. Jim Lee had tweeted out that he checked himself into the hospital, and like a couple days later, just done. So tremendous artist, tremendous talent. R.I.P. to him. Rob Zombie is trailer for the Munster Mash hit. Have you seen this?
No.
It's like a teaser. It's gonna be perfect, I think. And I think because he gets it. Like, he's not trying to like modernize it. It's just like if a movie were to take place of the Munsters but be in color. He has the right mindset to make this type of horror land comedy. I think he kind of gets the tongue-in-cheek element.
I mean, he's into the genre. He's directed
right,
quite a few things now.
But even if you look at like Dragula and shit, like the music videos, like he gets the idea of making something funny that's also supposed to be in the world of scary.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Menace to Society, but one of my favorite lines in there is, "It's not easy being black in America. The hunt is on, and we're the prey." The Prey trailer dropped for Predators 5 or whatever. Thoughts on this? Anybody?
I will watch it. I mean, it's cool. It's a different time period, right? But it's more of the same. Like, that's the problem with Predators, as I always said.
It doesn't have the franchise defining film yet.
No, and it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's the right creative property for films to explore. Maybe there's a platform for everything. There's only so much you can do with a movie about predators.
Yeah, if you continue to do it the same way,
exactly. Because,
bruh, how could a whole elite squad of military guys couldn't kill a predator? Now you're asking a guy with a wooden spear and a bow to kill the predator.
And he's going to.
The greatest predator killer, I'm sorry, is Danny Glover.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Danny Glover. Being from LA, my man was like, bruh, I'm used to this.
And I'll be honest, even though that's not the best.
They gave him a prize at the end.
Yeah.
Even though that's not the best Predator movie, it's not the worst.
No, I enjoyed it.
It is perhaps the one that gives you the most insight into the culture of the Predators, because you get to get on the ship and you're like, oh shit, they go to different places, they conquer these different things. It's like, but that's what that franchise needs. Is it needs the aliens of its franchise to define the world a bit better.
It's the problem
of their culture.
It's because they are monsters, but they're not monsters.
Correct.
They are the apex, right? When you watch anything monsters and humans, like the humans are the apex creature, and you focus on the humans, regardless of what the odds are, right? Because aliens, you don't relate to them. They are fucking the others.
Correct.
But with predators, they're like other, better humans.
I agree. There was also the Sandman trailer. Anybody watch that?
I saw it on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Are you still a phony who hasn't read the book yet?
So yeah, I'm still a phony. So but here's the thing: is I've made
working on you?
I've made a decision about this show. When it comes out, I'm going to watch it one episode per week. And when I talk about it here, I'm going to create a character that I personify that's like knows the book inside and out and talks about how it's falling short of the book. But I'm going to go deep into it without any idea of what actually happens in the book.
Perfect. I can't wait.
So I am going to do that. I've decided that.
Yeah, okay.
Black Adam trailer.
Love it, right? The Rock, you love it. You love that shit.
Yeah.
You love him.
He's not good, man. He's not good. He's not a good actor.
Look.
He does have the look. Except he's a little heavy, but he does have the look. Like, he's a little bit too muscular. It's like
he's got 15 pounds too much muscle now, motherfucker.
Just 15 pounds. If we could just eliminate 15 pounds of muscle,
give it to Cable, and then we
take give that to Cable. Sort it all out.
I feel like it's not going to be a fail, but at the same time, DC movies have not been on the up and up.
It's hit or miss.
It's complicated.
Right? It's like they have good ones.
Well, which one was a hit?
I don't watch them. I don't fucking watch them.
All missed it.
So I would say Man of Steel is damn near perfect.
Okay.
I would say BVS Uncut is solid. I would say Snyder Cut is damn near perfect.
Listen to what you just had to say.
I know. That I agree.
That's like having Spindrift 2.0. It's like having Tesla 2.0. Let's redo it because we messed up the first time.
I agree. No, but they didn't mess up. It's a studio problem. It's not a creator problem.
They made the good movie. That got fucked up.
Yes,
and then
they made a good movie that corporate people fucked up.
Hey, look, when I was single and I met a girl, I didn't get a 2.0. I had to knock it out in one time.
No, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
that's all
that's
I'm
valid.
saying.
That's valid. Wonder Woman's great. Joker was solid.
Okay.
Nolanverse is perfect. Overall.
Yeah.
I think
that's a while ago though.
Yeah, but my general thoughts on DC and Marvel films is that the average score for Marvel is higher. Because they have more average movies. The DC score is lower because they have hits and misses.
That drag
but they don't have a whole lot of average.
Facts.
And like I don't think that Marvel has as many hits in my mind. Like in my opinion, the best Marvel movies are Winter Soldier, Infinity War. Was that the first one?
Yeah.
And then what's the third? Civil War. Those are my top 3 in order. And those are the only ones that I actually think are great. Then I have a handful of ones that I think are good. I think Thor: The Dark World is good. I know people don't agree with me there, but I think it's good. Iron Man 1 is good. I don't want to list them all, but I think there's other ones that are good. And then the overwhelming majority of them I think are just fine. And then there's Madness of Madness, which is awful to me.
I haven't watched it. It's coming out next week or some shit, right?
Maybe. Iron Man 3, which is awful to me.
That suit was ugly.
And but those might be the only 2 that I think are bad. Just bad movies. So like they've only got 2 bad ones, but they've only got 3 great ones, but then they have a lot of like average to good.
So Eternals wasn't a bad one?
Not to me.
I like Eternals.
Not to me.
What?
So
I really enjoyed Eternals.
Not to me because I don't think it was. I put it average. I put it average because I don't think that the formula works, but I like the world building stuff that it did. I just wish it was done differently. Like I wish it wasn't in the middle of the movie. I wish it was towards the beginning so I could launch up. It doesn't matter. But like being as though there's like a large set of average to good, whereas DC has like hit. Nothing average, and then fail, and it's the fails that fuck up the average. But anyway, we got questions and shit. I don't want to take too much time with it. The other thing I wanted to say was Willy Wonka. Just the Black Adam. I don't think it's going to be good. I'm just going to put it out there. But I didn't think I was going to enjoy some other DC movies, and I've enjoyed them. I don't think
you didn't think you were going to like Shazam,
and I like Shazam.
Shazam was pretty good.
Yeah. Willy Wonka in real life. I'm not going to take too much time with this, but I don't know if you heard about this, but in Philadelphia, 2 workers rescued after falling into chocolate tank at Mars Wrigley.
What they like molten chocolate too?
Yeah, they were like in there.
Definitely died from that.
2 workers trapped inside a tank full of chocolate. The workers were rescued to take it to the hospital. They've not revealed their conditions. Thoughts and prayers. But pretty crazy.
I mean, it's bad because molten chocolate is hot.
Yeah.
Are they trying to like eat? We gotta eat ourselves out, so to speak.
All right, real quick. Do you guys have gifts? And then I need you guys to start.
I want the pink and white.
I
Over here.
Yeah, I ordered pink and white.
And then over there's the rim. All right, thank you guys.
I love it.
The white is color changing.
Thank you so
It's
much.
pink, so when it's in sunlight, they will be pink.
Oh, that's cool.
I appreciate that.
This matches my shorts.
So we'll move on to questions.
Wait, did you want to talk about the Flash?
What exactly happened?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's done some more crazy shit.
Yeah, he's missing with. You can't find him, and there's a missing girl, and he has her.
Allegedly, he has kidnapped someone and
might have
disappeared.
been having sex
what
with
we
her
talking about?
and grooming her.
Barry Allen's Flash from Snyderverse. Ezra Miller.
Why are we even talking about this weird?
I mean, that's
it's
really weird.
yeah,
That's really off the fucking
he
chart.
has gone
Weird.
too far.
But because it's got to sit on the Ezra must seat.
Really?
God damn it! Making it for Chris's absence. I see.
Hey, I get it. I get what I say. When I say it, it's like, bruh, he is too much. You know what I'm saying? He's just. I know we got to talk about it, but at the same time, like, what? Because they made you the Flash, you think you could do whatever you want? Come on, man. Take it easy.
So Josh V writes in, and he wrote in like right after we wrapped the episode like 2 weeks ago, so I felt bad for him.
I've lost track of time.
He said this is his first time writing in. I want to thank Bobby for the Megatron and Ravage artwork. Oh, I haven't revealed all that yet, but no, it's my pleasure. He said, what I really wanted to know is when will Fetal Pig make its triumphant debut on live stage? I can already see the marquee for the Barnyard Slaughter Tour featuring cattle decapitation, goat whore, and pungent stench with special guest Fetal Pig. Those are real bands, by the way. Oh, God. Let's get this shit booked. Keep raging and fighting a good fight. Thank you, sir. So if you may not know, if I always said if I would ever start a heavy metal band, I would name it Fetal Pig because I think it's hard. and it came to me when we dissected a pig in science class, like in middle school. I was like, I remember like, did you have to do that? A fetal pig?
No. We did a goat head.
Oh, so we had to do a fetal pig, and I was like,
and frogs.
All I was saying in class was like, man, this would be a hard name for a band. Like, I just kept saying it, like Fetal Pig. I just kept saying it to people. People were like not into it.
You were ahead of your time.
This is from Willy Whammo. He said, hey, NRR, you could imagine my surprise hearing my public bathroom shenanigans being broadcast to the world. So this is Ill Will, the neighbor. Yes. All jokes aside, Skullfest was great. I think the best part was seeing an actual Irishman hold a box of Lucky Charms and yell, they're magically delicious. Love the roast too. Had someone tell me, Will, you're so pale, you have to put on sunscreen before you open the fridge. Great time. And I'm very lucky to have been caught. Thanks to Mr. Paul for talking me out of my master plan that totally would have worked, but would have been long and boring. It wouldn't have worked, Will. This is from Abraham. He says, hello, man. Abraham again. I got a random question that I definitely know at least Bobby has probably pondered himself, but of course, everyone chime in. Have y'all ever had a friend who you know is a true friend when you are in person and all that? There's no mistaking y'all are homies. I have such a friend, but he's problematic in the sense that we fundamentally operate differently. And the point that his word is cheap. He's hard to pin down, pretty hard to communicate with. It gets annoying when I let such oddities really distract me and it ruin other aspects of my day. I know you just accomplished a Skullfest in which you had your entire gallery of friends tested in such a way. How many of those friends fit that description, and how you mitigate being so bummed that some people don't turn out or whatnot despite being legit? So, ironically, Adam once gave me a piece of advice that I took with me. That he said, if you consider someone a friend and you are aware of their shortcomings and you choose to continue being their friend, you have to accept the shortcoming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I have done that myself, but the problem is when people don't, when it's not that. When it's not that shortcoming it's some new shit, that's when it gets, is this an always thing now, or is this just today? But yeah, I struggle with it mainly. I'm trying to think there was only, to be fair, at Skullfest, there was only one person that backed out that fucked up shit. And shout out to Sam, but Sam and I talked. I got on the phone with him and I was like, look, this fucked me up, but from the UK, he was supposed to come through, and the only problem, it wasn't that he backed out, because I understand that shit, honestly. Mm-hmm. And to be fair, so many people come to that shit that it's like, it's a little reprieve. It's like, oh, like, okay, one less, okay, no worries, man. Glad you can't, I mean, sorry to hear you can't make it, but it's fine, because we're barely hanging on here anyway. The only difference with him is he was coming in early, and because he was coming in from out of country and shit, and like we did a lot logistically to plan around for his arrival. So when he backed out, it fucked all the plans up. But that was the only one. That was the only one that kind of had an issue during Skullfest. And then Shoulders pissed me off, but he's got some shit going on. I feel bad for him too. But it's frustrating, and I still haven't talked to him about it. But other than text, I haven't talked to him in person about it. But it's frustrating when you got a buddy that you love and you care for, and he means the world to you, and he lives 50 minutes down the road, and he can't fucking make it happen, and this guy just flew in from fucking Ireland. It's like, come on, man. But what about you guys? Any relationship things similar that strike a
I'm not good with friends. I don't know. I tend to just there's a point. It's true. It's accept, right? There's friends I have or I have had where like I know certain things that's just them, right? And I don't even fault them for it. Like I have a friend who I hate fucking people being late, but I love this guy and he's always fucking late, and it's just like I just expect him to. He's gonna be late. I'm not gonna be mad about it because I really fucking know he's gonna be late. Right? But like it's a certain point you find something about somebody, or somebody has some new shit that like I just don't jive with. I cut them off. I'm like before I get to the point where it becomes really negative. Like before there's a blow up, before there's a fight,
right?
You know, I let it go. I drift apart from people, and also just like a part of my abandonment things. Like this is not, I can see that this is not going to work out, and let me back out before they back out.
Right. Yeah. Anything?
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine. We grew up. You know what I'm saying? And now that he's in a better place. And I love him for that.
He didn't die, did he?
No. What I'm saying is, God, hey, Bobby got it again, man. Hey, look, what I'm saying is, like, coming up in the world and how he's doing stuff, he's great. But there's a arrogance to him, and I understand it. And it's just that when I introduce him to people, they'd be like, "Bruh, what's up with your people?"
Like, dude, and it's
bro.
That's what they do, though. That's what they do.
I know.
And it's to a point that I have to play 2 steps ahead when I bring them around folks. So I'm gonna be like, you know what?
So I think that actually that is a like
navigating between friends group, man. That's
why I stopped that circle, bringing them to a new circle of friends.
Like, I try to keep. Sometimes you gotta keep it separated. Man.
I have found in my life, like, that people who are arrogant and pompous, right? It tends to be an overflex of what their actual self-view and worth and value is. So I think that people that do that, it's natural for people around them to be like, to remind them that their shit, in fact, does still stink. The problem is that I think that reminder hurts them more than it hurts the average person, because they're already overflexing for a problem that they're dealing with that they're not making you aware of. And then you guys end up misfiring, trying to be the person that you think the other person actually needs you to be. Yeah. But you end up hurting each other more, and in both parties, more than you would prefer.
Yeah, true.
Next one is from This is from, speaking of which, this is from Sony, my good friend Sony. We were just talking about you today. He said, "What's up, nerds? Haven't written into the show for a while. Thanks for sharing all the content from Skullfest through the videos and sessions with Chris. And I have another one coming that Eric B. hosted. It gave us a feel for the vibe without actually being there, and that is definitely something special. Hope I can be there in person next time. Been watching The Boys with my wife." That's what I'm talking about. "And enjoying it, but it brought up some questions that I thought would be interesting to hear your perspective on. Do you cringe at any of the scenes from the show? Dude walking into the cavity of the penis, for instance."
Bro, Bobby loves... Do you not know Bobby? He loves the cringe. He lives for cringe.
I love a boundary being pushed, So, like, when they go where I'm like, there's no way they would do that. I'm like, oh, fuck, they just did that. And that's what I love about that show. So, like... There are it's hard to explain. There are things that I know I should feel cringy about. Usually when like characters like Homelander, and I'm just pulling I'm making up an example. But he'll talk to like another woman on the show, and he'll be like, "Look, and I know for the branding and stuff, it's important that you be a strong woman for the so I want to make sure that you do that, all right? So take it easy, sweet tits." Like shit like that. But and I know that that's supposed to be cringy, but it's the fact that he doesn't see it that way that's what I find funny. And it's because I know, not to say I know God that crazy, but my buddy Shane, I'm telling you, if that dude has superpowers, he would be Homelander. He would be a complete menace. But he's just like he's slick. He's a good looking dude. He's had a lot of things come easy to him in life, and he's just like. He thinks the world is his ashtray, and he treats it as such. And if he had, and like, I love him, because I get him. But like, I think if like I would never have him to Skullfest because
just like the friends question we were talking about earlier.
That's why I'm tying it in. I'm tying it in. I do this. So like, because if I had him here, the amount of people that would be introduced to him for the first time and have to take him at face value, it could get people would get offended. But it's not. It's just his nature. Like the first time I met this dude, I always tell this story. My dad was shampooing the carpets. Now we didn't have a big house, we didn't have shit, but we took care of what we had. And my dad was shampooing this little bit of carpet that was like my whole basement, which was like the size of this room. And we put all the furniture into the hallway so that the carpet could get shampooed. Right. I met this dude Shane that night in my basement in that room. A buddy of mine brought him over, and first thing he just walked in. He didn't introduce himself. First thing he said was, "Oh, like what you done with the place." But that's just who he is. You know what I mean? But the good news is you could throw, like, he's very like let the shit fall. It's like, what do they call it? Like drain off your back or whatever. Like if you throw shots his way, he just like laughs or whatever. Like there's a good chance he might come back at you heavy, you know, but like you know, but so he reminds me of this dude so much that I think I have a bit of numbness to it, you know. Even though my dude has never called anybody sweet tits or something like that, but you know, but he, you know, like I remember like his father was like just tied in. Like we came home late as fuck. We've been out all night partying, stayed out, hung out at these fucking awful places that we had no business hanging out in. Came back. Get to his house. My mom had already checked out of my life, so it was fine. But his dad was like, "Where have you been?" And he's like, "What are you gonna want?" You know, like that kind of. And he was like, "Bobby, you better tell him to cool his jets. You better," like his whole family was like Irish and Italian New Yorkers. You better tell him to cool his jets. And he just looked over at me. He was like, "Fuck him, tell him to cool his fucking jets." You know what I mean? But he was just like that dude, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one. So this name, Chioki, I believe. What's up, NRR? With Kenobi out now and shows like Andor and Bad Batch seeming to explore the in-between times, which is set time period that I find very fascinating, I thought of what I hope is a decent question. Side note, Kenobi Episode 4 has me very concerned about the rest of the show. Hayden Christensen seems to be wasted. And for the amount of screen time Reva is getting, she desperately needs some backstory or any development whatsoever. Well, she has had that a bit now. Anyways, if you... as you are living your life now as a regular citizen, lived in the Star Wars universe during the fall of the Republic and rise of the Empire, do you think you would have joined the Rebels, the Empire, been a sympathizer to a particular side, or remain neutral? And if you were to join a side, when during the timeline would you join? Also, what planet would you think you'd live on? Personally, I'm not particularly brave as much as I'd like to think I would be, so I'd probably do my best to stay out of the conflict while being of the opinion that the Rebels had a point. The only situation where I can see myself joining up is if the Empire killed my family or friends and I'd join the Rebels or vice versa. Pre-Empire, Scarif looks like a beautiful place to live.
Still too Hawaii for me, man.
Yeah, I think I probably wouldn't get involved.
Yeah, no.
Because like if I look at my life now, like, I got a wife, kids, you know, like we're not involved in politics.
Yeah. There's a lot of causes you can take up today if you wanted to, but we don't. Most of us don't because we just live our lives. Man.
I think I would be a sympathizer to the Rebels. Yeah. Like I think I'd be like, man, like because we are getting taxed out here, man, and they took all of our Wookiees away and put them in. You know, like,
and that Empire done raised the gas prices. So sign me up.
You know, but like I think that's how I would feel about it. But like at the same time, I don't like. I can also see myself saying, like, especially after, like, you know, like the fucking clerk shit, right? Like, after the second Death Star explosion, I can see myself saying, like, man, there's fucking private contractors on that fucking thing. You know, there's, like, the plumbers union is on that fucking Death Star, and you blew them up, too.
Yeah.
You know, like I can see myself doing that. Even though I know there's this greater good and sacrifices and blah, 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 I can see myself being mainly a Rebel sympathizer, but then also being around a bunch of people that were super into the Rebels, and I'd have to be like, but look, man, the fucking Empire didn't deserve this. You know, like,
yeah, it's just like real life.
Yeah, I mean, it's like real life.
Really similar, man. Like I know it's more extreme, right? But like it is regular life. That's how you just learn. Like, humans learn to just fucking adapt and go with the flow of whatever's around. If you're in a fucking Rebel hell territory, or if you're in an Empire hell territory, your life would be slightly different. But you would go with whatever the fuck is around you. Most of us will go with whatever the fuck is around you because that's what we do.
Just put me in the outer rim with no planet that has bugs that are bigger than me, and I'm good.
I'm trying to think of any Maybe
You don't want Tatooine? You love the brown. You were just in Cali. You love that
All
shit.
the desert in the world. No, sir.
No, I didn't like the desert. The desert made me uncomfortable. I think I would like, not that I would like, but I can see myself being on that planet. What's the planet where Luke held off the First Order with the projection?
Oh, with the salt?
Just 'cause I'm salty as fuck.
Felicity, wherever Felicity is from, that looks like fucking Hong Kong.
Oh yeah.
That's very like urban. I feel like there's a lot of good food there. You can
She's only there
they probably have collectibles.
Hey, I noticed in all your LA food talk, you ain't say nothing about Roscoe's.
So I had it.
Okay.
So I had Roscoe's. I had it in Long Beach.
Okay. So how was it?
So the chicken is mid.
That's why you didn't say nothing. Yeah.
You know, the chicken is like you expect it to be like this thing. I'll say this: the waffles are probably the best waffles I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
Like because they're like
in Waffle House.
So I have been to Waffle House. They're like. So I like a little doughy waffle in the middle, doughy as fuck, and a lot of times I feel like a lot of waffle restaurants have like watered down syrup. Not the case at all.
I need that extra high fructose corn syrup, man.
Yeah.
Extra HH.
I want to have to get that shit out with the spoon.
Yes.
You know,
like fucking molasses.
Yeah. But the chicken was just kind of I expected more out of the chicken, you know. But the waffles were slamming, and I had a biscuit too, which was okay, but I dotted it up with some fucking butter and jelly, and then it started.
But you kind of have to though. Like, I mean, good biscuits, but it's never the same without the condiment.
Agreed.
Who has the best biscuits though? I feel in love with Popeyes. I thought
Popeyes are pretty good.
So I think Popeyes in the top five.
Red Lobster cheesy
Red
biscuits,
Lobster.
man.
Hey, look, come on. So here's my thing. I'm sorry. You know what, Joe? You right. I'm so sorry. But here's the reason why I didn't even think about that. You know what? Everybody calls them cheese biscuits. You know what I call them? Sea biscuits. Because
they're made out of horsehair.
Hey, look. You know how many arguments I have like with people. I be having big arguments with people. They be like, that's why I ain't think about cheese biscuits. I'm sitting there like when I go to Red Lobster, I'm like, babe, I need some of them sea biscuits. Like, what the hell is a sea biscuit?
It's a horse.
Yeah. Baby, you know what that sea biscuit is. Quit playing. Yeah.
But yeah, the waffles were good. And my wife had the mac and cheese as a side. Also fucking on point, especially for like a chain restaurant. Like on point.
That's what's up.
So we got one from Ryan. Ryan wrote in. He wrote in for real. Hi, boys. Think I win the long one this week. Looks like it, Ryan. And also... just want to point out that the Fat Electrician's review of Top Gun Maverick, don't need to see the movie after the review, but it'll probably catch it at some point. Bobby, and he wrote me with an IE, which is weird, but he said,
that's a girl's name.
Yeah, and he didn't even have the fucking common decency to put a heart over the I. I'm with you on handshakes of celebs. I've had sit downs with 3 celebs, and 2 of the 3 acted like they stepped in something while they were talking to me. The third was awesome. NHRA drag racer John Force. He was amazing. Probably had about 10 things more important to do than talk to me, but took a few to stand and genuinely interact with me. That's awesome. Phil. Oh, Phil, you little thought machine. Love the Diabolical series. So fucked up. Kind of like season 3. I agree with you guys. It's not the superhero story that we need. It's a superhero story we deserve. I'm a huge fan of The Butcher's Break. It's so small that it'd be easy to miss, but it's normal that you don't really think about how you would break in the situation. More like inchworm through the hole. Am I right, boys? Depends on the situation for me. Much like Chucky at times, I'm carrying firearms or tool belts. A couple new pair of boxer briefs I brought recently. Smart Wool brand Flex. Have all the material there, but it's sealed. Really creates a situation sometimes. Time to lean, time to clean. I love it. Had the same introduction to aliens as Bobby. Loves Spaceballs. Don't think I watched Alien until my junior year in high school. Also got to watch Terminator 2 in that class, both on Laserdisc. The focus on the lesson was Alien.
I had Terminator 2 Laserdisc.
That's crazy. I never had a Laserdisc player.
You know why? You know why though? Why we had the Laserdisc? Because a Laserdisc machine is a karaoke machine.
That's true. That's true.
Apparent Asian as fuck.
It probably was for you.
You remember holding them big ass discs though?
It was like a bigger than a record.
Right.
I could pretend to be the Predator with a fucking.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow, bro.
He said he liked Alien Resurrection. Tank tread wheelchair is awesome, and the hiding the shotgun in the wheelchair was cool. Chris, when you mentioned Laser Ship, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. FedEx is a close second for me. They suck around my area. Thanks, Chucky. Love the Alien Breakdown. Might as well tell you guys while I'm writing a book that I'm going to King Richard's Fair in the start of September. Ever been there?
What's that?
No. I have no idea what that is. Next one is from Sanjay. He said, Dear RR, can Chris talk about Vince McMahon stepping down as CEO of WWE?
Oh, is he doing that? I didn't know that.
What's his legacy impact on the sport is covered up. Are you a wrestling fan?
Not anymore, but I keep up.
Does this mean anything to you? Sanjay, you're going to have to send this question back in if you want Chris to answer it because he's not here tonight.
Hey, my man, he's fooling around. He was fooling around.
Oh, yeah.
And so he stepped down for it,
right?
yeah.
It's like a scandal.
He was
stepping down because of scandal?
He was getting it in with a female wrestler, and I think he paid her off. So
anybody surprised?
Well,
I mean, I'd be fucking everybody I could if I was him.
But now it's an investigation. Now somebody ratted him out, and I think he what, like 2-3 million or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then his other boy, John Leonidas or Ionitis or something, he did something, and then it's another guy who's like something. He did his own inside trader. So it's a bunch of the top.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shit.
It's to a point that Stephanie is kind of like doing the day-to-day now.
Wow.
Vince is still in charge of creativity, but Stephanie is running everything else. Yeah.
I mean, it's time to change anyway. He's getting old.
True.
So this next one is from Mick H. Mike H. to Bubby. I'm good with either. I've fucked his name up before. This is a long one too. But he says, sorry, lads, an Irish accent. Long-time listener, first-time call or emailer. One of Bubby's longtime YouTube subscribers since Fans Project Smart Robin Code days.
Wow.
From the Emerald Isle, I'm really, really sorry for the long email. For Bobby, with DZEF or IDW Deathsaurus being the last, I only found out last week, mold-wise in the reformatted, it seems they are fully in on the Ocular Max Remix Infinity lines and would only do recolors, remolds in the future.
Damn.
I was wondering what your thoughts are on this. I remember, or wrongfully, in your Rung Dami reviews, you kind of touched on this. Me, I'm absolutely gutted as I really wanted a Ratchet and a Nautica for my Lost Light shelf, especially after their Rung, my figure of the year last year. It is great. But I understand the decision as the comic has finished a while now and business demand has been lowered. If this is the end, thank you, Reformatted, for great figures. So I agree. And I am under that impression as well that the reformatted line is coming to an end. That being said, get in touch with Sam from Shop Talk. Sam Makes Toys. He is working on a Nautica kit. He did my pipes. He's working on, I can't remember if he said this publicly or not, but he's working on another IDW character that I cannot wait to get my hands on. It will be great. The good news is that Reformatted, along with a couple of different add-ins here and there, the Make Toys Swerve, Perfect Effect, Fort Max, it did a pretty good job.
I mean, that, you know what soured me from that, man? That shit made me mad. Part of the many reasons that made me quit.
Tell me.
That whirl. That shit burnt me.
I agree with you 100%.
And I mean, that's a not third party, but it's like a 3D printed kit.
That world might be the one. I shouldn't be putting that out there.
But there's a really good world kit out there.
Yeah, it is great. It looks spot on.
Yeah. But like, yeah, when it said that was world, I'm like, come on.
And then to be fair, and then also dropped the ball with Cyclonus. Those two things really hurt that line for me. The Cyclonus is way off also.
Oh, yeah, the Cyclonus, I think I have like a kit for the Chug.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yes, because that's better. The Make Toys bit, you can add it to that. Yeah, it made it better. And then that
brings my memories.
I actually think that the biggest loss there is the lack of wreckers. Because like the wreckers, I have a lot of room, you know, but they just didn't do enough of it.
They should have just done teams, man.
Yeah. And we never got a scavenger set either, which is a bummer, which I would have liked. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, cheers to them. They did knock out a lot of characters, and you know, and I do think that they are winding down. But I also think that if you follow Sam pretty closely, you might be into some good fortune if all of his plans come true. For Joe. I fell into the rabbit hole that is Gundam last year.
Oh, God.
And in Irish accent, I fucking love it.
It is great.
I love the Gunpla and the assembling of master real grade models.
Oh, wow.
My questions...
You got tiny fingers, bruh?
My questions are, what your favorite Gundam animes? Mine are the first season of Iron Blooded Orphans,
Yes.
Gundam 00, and controversially Seed, my favorite. What are your top 5 Gundams, and which do you think of the trailers for The Witch from Mercury?
I don't know about The Witch from Mercury. I'm going to watch it. Look, the animation looks great, but like, I just want more. I don't know what I want, really. I know what I want. Forgive me. What I want is continuing the origins. Gundam Origins, starting with Char, was amazing. The manga's done, or not done, it's been ongoing. Like, just do that. It's basically a remake of the original Gundam story, but modernized, more serious, less goofy, because they're not constrained anymore. I don't know if you know the story. The original Gundam cartoon was heavily influenced by the studio because it was too serious. Like, the original Gundam was supposed to be all white, but they're like, no, we need some primary colors in there. We need monsters of the week. So like every week they had like a different robot enemy, whatever.
Gotcha.
But at the heart, it's still a very serious story. They still had deaths and stuff that you're exposed to as a kid, and war shit and child soldiers. All that themes was still intact, which was part of what make it great. Now, the origins retelling is that the story is amazing. The fucking art is amazing. I just need them to just continue with it and stop bullshitting with other stuff.
Yeah.
But I know that that's a Gundam thing. Gundam and Power Rangers type thing. Like, every year you have a different season of a fucking side story. So,
what are your favorite Gundam animes?
Iron Blooded Orphans, great. Oh, Origins, like I said. I like, it's really outside the box for me because you would think I would hate it, but I enjoy G Gundam a lot. The movie I showed you, War in the Pocket. I love War in the Pocket and Stardust Memory. I mean, and a lot of these are older shows, but like, I like a lot of these older shows, not because of nostalgic feels. I just think they are good, serious stories.
So then he had a question for Chris and Phil as well. If you'd like to send those back in next week, you can try. Phil, I don't believe will be here, but Chris will. He said, from the podcast after Skullfest, we in Ireland do indeed swear a lot. And gentlemen, I do mean a lot. Saying words like cunt, bastard, etc., a lot similar to UK and Australia. Hell, we use the mentioned swear words as compliments sometimes. If I saw Chris in person, I'd say to myself out loud, fucking hell, you are some big cunt. It's actually a compliment. We are sometimes too weird, but we mean well. Again, sorry for the long essay email. Thanks for the entertainment over the years. Long may it continue. 2022 has been a really hard year so far for me personally, and just want to say thank you to all you three. You're a sound bunch of lads, as we say here. FYI, on the bog, a.k.a. toilet, I wipe standing up.
Bog in the
always.
bog.
Bare,
like
arsed, and bullocks. Ugh, crazy. That felt so weird. He said, Mick H, Mike H to Bubbe. I'm good with either. PSO and Bobby Silver and Gold. I do this in the comments whenever Bobby says it in the reviews. So I've seen this dude around forever. Like, I know him forever, and it was nice to write him, but just I've always called him Mike H. And then just recently I saw in some email, I was like, it's Mick? Have I been fucking this up the whole time? But I think his name is Michael, but he goes by Mick, and I think that's what's been doing it. Sean W. He said, hey, Nerd Ragers. First, thank you for the kind words and invitation last week. Trust me, I'm much lamer in person. Secondly, happy Father's Day to Bobby and Chris. Be sure to treat Joe. Be sure to treat Joe extra nice today. He'll probably be feeling a little down since he's missing out on all the love and happiness that only can come from raising children.
I raised my cat children, gives me plenty of love. They never leave me. They're grown now, but they still cuddle with me.
Oh, they're gonna leave you one day. Hopefully not like Smeagol, just dead in the patio.
Oh. Bro, I helped you carry him to the fucking vet, bro.
Yep.
That was a thing.
Yep. During an episode of Nerd Rage.
Yeah, where to stop.
Yeah, and actually, if I don't know what episode it is, but Laura comes down crying.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
He's dead. I'm like, oh shit, who died?
Yeah,
and we just stop. And like he died, he shot himself. It was
it was everything you could think of.
Hey.
Shoki wrote in. He said, "Why Netflix? Why? What up, Nerd Ragers? I found myself following some of y'all's viewing recommendations, and the wife and I just completed all of Ozark. Pinkerton commenting on the finale was the last straw that pushed us to watch, and I must say I've never watched a series that gave me so much anxiety from the get-go. And yet the ending was less than satisfying. Ruth is my spirit animal. If you know, you know." Also, via recommendations, I started Love, Death, and Robots, and while visually stunning at most times and terrifying the rest of the time, I was pretty pissed to discover I was watching the series in reverse because Netflix has it loaded that way.
It doesn't matter. It's episodic.
Yeah, I agree. The most recent volume first and descending to the first. I was several episodes into Volume 2 before looking at the episode list and realizing something was amiss. Now knowing that some of Volume 3 is sequels and episodes in Volume 1. So there's that. We also experienced this with the game show The Floor is Lava, newest season first.
Oh, I didn't mention it. Floor is Lava season 2 came out, bro. It's only 6 episodes. They need more episodes. I love the show.
Have you guys experienced this? I can't find any
It sounds too good.
setting within Netflix to change it, but it now means I'll check before proceeding on.
Bro, I can't believe I didn't put Floor is Lava 2 on my fucking thing.
So I'll say this. I don't watch much on Netflix. You know, usually if I watch something on Netflix, it's something that Joe has recommended.
Yep.
So I'm currently watching this one show on Netflix, but it's only one season. So I haven't had that problem. As for the previous week's Over the Fence or Through the Gate discussion, I'm a double gator in proper pants, but a flopper, so to speak, when just in gym shorts and boxers around the house. Well, you may not have a choice. Definitely got to watch for the post-void drip when flopping through. Yeah, that's crazy. That's going through the double gate is nuts. Let me ask you a question, Greg. When you take a piss and you're wearing pants and boxer briefs or something with a dick hole in it, do you go over? Like, so let me tell you what I do. I unbutton my pants and I unzip my pants and I bring my dick over my boxers and I piss. Or do you go through both holes, the jeans hole and then the boxer hole, and bring your dick out?
Boxer hole first, hopefully.
Through
Unless you're Superman.
But you got to go put your hand in through the jeans hole first, and then bring the meat out through all of that, and then take a piss. Is that what you do?
I
Really?
I zip, pull out. Yeah, I don't nothing overlap. You know why?
Dude, the holes are made. They're invented.
Yeah, but it's too much.
I don't want to get caught like in Something About Mary. You remember when he?
But that's what you're doing.
My Franks and Beans won't get caught if I do it that way. And see,
you're bringing it out through the zipper hole.
Here's another reason why I do it.
Tucking it back in.
Here's another reason why I do it. I'm a big dude, right? Sometimes my nuts get stuck to my thighs, so I gotta adjust.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, I bring the nuts out sometimes too. I bring the whole kit and caboodle out. I really do.
What if I forget to put everything back in?
It's going over my pants are wide open. It's going over the boxers. So it's no big deal. And
I'm buttoning my pants. I'm not wearing a belt.
So you don't wear a belt? If I'm wearing trash clothes, like just like sweatshirts or something, I'm just going to put around the house, I'm going to do laundry or whatever. Sometimes I'll put the nuts back in and then I'll just bounce the dick.
Yes, I do that. That's fine. I get it.
To shake that motherfucker off, I just bounce it on the elastic.
That's part of my mating call sometimes to Krista. I'll just walk up to her and do that and be like, yo, it's time.
You know, so there's that. I got that going for me. And yeah, I think that's it. So look here at Nerd Rage, we always say an adjective and a body part at the end of it, so you got to get ready for that.
Okay.
As we go around, but we have to do a couple things before we do so. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the rest of the people. Obviously, Chris Pickerton, if you're nasty, you couldn't be here tonight, but also Marilyn Phil, who helps with our notes, as well as I'm trying to find that fucking Phil. The
Thought of the week.
Yeah. As well as Raul, who helps with Instagram, and Dante, who helps with Facebook and needs to get back out here.
I'll see both of them this Saturday for Dante's podcast.
Oh, really? What are you guys doing?
I think we're doing Predators.
Really?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
See, I want to do.
I have a busy week, bro. Everything's after work.
I want to do one, so to speak, with Dante, but I want it to be.
You don't like anything he likes.
What? I want it to be like.
You should do maybe the Conjuring series. You like that series, right?
Well, I was thinking maybe Exorcist, like not the whole series, but just the one. I can't find this shit. He just sent it to. God damn it!
Just Exorcist 1, not 2.
Oh, here we go.
Not the prequel.
Yeah. No, yeah, just the first one. Just the first, like the original 70s one, I think. So let's get into some thought of the week with Marilyn Phil. Let me see if I can.
I'm making my fucking arm hairs ready to stand up.
Let me see if this is the right one or if I got to play the other one. Nope, this is not the right one. So let me play this one. Oh, shit. Here we go.
All right. Put your hats on backwards because it's time for Marilyn Phil's Thought of the Week. Let's see who we're sipping for today.
And if you want to send questions to Nerd Rage, of course.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
So
I know that's somebody's wife. I never get tired of it.
I know. Same here. So like there's a bunch of the same simpler ones that he does like it's a bunch of gifts. All right, this is good. So it's this young lady. She's doing some sort of Captain America cosplay, and then his response is this fat dude lifting up his glasses saying, "Wow."
It's Chris Farley.
And she responded to him, "Thanks."
Yo, you gotta respond. Fire.
Yeah, dude. Phil.
See, never fucking fails. I just like, oh.
Now it's time to slide up in the DMs. Okay, so with that,
Flappy labias.
What?
you got to say an adjective and a body part.
Oh, I failed English. An adjective and a body part.
A descriptive term, like he said, flappy.
Big titty. Yeah. Big titty.
Tight dick player.